go. Sivir a strong first pick. Obviously, very strong ADC right now. Followed up immediately by Kog'Maw, which is an interesting choice. Um, Probably going to be paired up with a support very quickly, looking to get some kind of early enchanter going.
I'd be surprised if we don't see a
I think
Soraka
Will's
or
been playing
something
a
similar.
lot of Kog'Maw this season, though. So I guess it's not
There's the
necessarily
Soraka
too
this is
surprising.
respected. Be
Yeah.
interested to see if we see a Yumi come out here for KGS. We saw the Sivir Yumi combo being really strong, especially in pro play, and there it is.
Yeah, certainly.
And we also see Joel's Poppy come out. So I mean, this is probably the ideal draft for KGS considering the bans.
Yeah. Yeah, Will's been playing a lot of Kog'Maw this season, as his Twitch always gets banned. Um, Usually performs decently well on it.
Ziggs ban, is that for who's is that for Michael?
I don't know, actually.
I don't know Michael's champ pool very well. They see the Poppy, so I would assume they know that that's Joel switching to top. We're getting a Victor ban here. So I guess Hong is probably in mid and Will is ADC. I should have switched that around in the assets generator. We'll get that fixed for the actual game. Waiting on Red's final ban here. And it's the Viego, looks like. And that makes a lot of sense. Viego's really
Yeah.
strong still. And it's one of Mason's comfort picks. I'm surprised we haven't seen...
Jacob says that I'm loud and that he would turn me down or raise your audio.
I turned you down a little bit. I can turn you
Okay.
down again. It wouldn't be a Scrim Zone stream on my computer if it wasn't a little bit scuffed. Alright,
Yeah.
so we see the Orianna pick come out for... I'm assuming that's for Hong. I like their comp
Yeah.
so far. It's very teamfight heavy. I would like a front line
Yeah.
for their top pick, which they're saving for counter pick.
Yeah, they do certainly need some front line.
For KGS, they have a pretty strong front to back with Poppy for peel and engage. That's a Vi.
Vi is actually a good pick here.
I don't know how much I like Vi against Kog'Maw. He's
I
pretty
think Vi is.
stationary anyway. I don't know if you need
I
Vi's
think.
chase down for that.
I think Vi here is good for the Lilia mostly, and it's also really good depending on what kind of top laner they pick, because it could help get through the peel of whatever top laner they choose.
That's true. That's true. You would know that comp a little bit. And we see the Corki for, I'm assuming for Michael.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
how
there's.
experienced he is on that, but
So Joel's Poppy makes sense in the top lane. He's very well known for both his Poppy and his Xerath as his main two champions. So yeah. Is that a Nidalee lock?
It's a Wukong. Do you see it still? I need to set
No.
up the...
No, I don't.
Okay. I'll set up the sharing again. I had to switch it so I could generate the assets. Do you see it now?
Yes. Okay. Wukong makes sense. Gives some front line. The real question is that Lilia top or Wukong top? Would be my question. Both of those are jungle and top laners. I think either one could be seen here. I think Lilia probably fares a little bit better than Wukong into the Poppy. But you know, aside from that, Wukong a very strong pick.
Alright. Having to generate all these assets. I have no idea how...
Yeah.
I
mean, so KJS just drafted a intense scaling comp. Yeah. Both sides probably looking to scale here. We're most likely looking at a longer game.
Yeah, both teams have solid scaling for sure.
with the Kog'Maw, Corki, and Sivir, as well as Yuumi, all in the game. Um, I don't know which draft do you think you would rather have?
That's a tough question. I think the team fight for Kathy's Kittens is super strong. Is that actually a Lily at top now that I think about it?
It could be either one. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
well, we have no
Because
idea.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sivir Yumi is so strong right now that it's kind
certainly.
of a coin flip.
I mean, but there's always. I mean, you have Kog'Maw scaling. Just always, it's always going to be a dangerous thing to play with. Um, though Sivir is, just got that mini rework. Is certainly a very strong champion right now, especially when paired up with the Yuumi.
Okay, so we got Poppy top, Dai jungle, Quirky mid, Over Yumi. And I'm going to go on a limb here, go out on a limb and say it's Lilia top, Wukong jungle. I don't have a reason to assume that, but I think it makes more sense, especially for Lilia into Poppy. I think that's an easier matchup to play than Wukong into Poppy. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I was saying. Yeah, I definitely think Lillian to Poppy is definitely an easier matchup than putting Wukong up there. I don't know how Wukong into Vi fares, however.
alright, let me get these assets generated again. This is my least favorite part of casting.
It looks like the Vi versus the Wukong is a pretty close matchup, all things considered. I think Wukong may fare slightly better than Vi in that matchup. So, I mean, I think sending the Lilia top and letting the Wukong jungle is definitely the better play here.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. I'm trying to remember how to set this up. There we go. Alright, hopefully stream is not completely fudged. Man, yeah, I have no idea how Dean does this so, like seamlessly. It's crazy to me. And I will switch what I'm streaming for you, so you can see.
I always forget that Wukong goes into our database as Monkey King.
Yeah. It confuses me multiple times. Thankfully, Dean added a drop down, which makes it a lot easier to use.
Right.
Should be getting into game here soon. Yeah, so we should probably talk about who we think won draft.
I think it's a pretty close draft.
Yeah, I think bot lane's about equal. Sivir's wave clear is so
I
strong
think
late game.
I think Sivir's probably stronger in the current meta than Kog'Maw, but there is always the range difference between the two.
Looks like they're making a new lobby. Some players are having trouble joining. I'm getting some Riot client hate here, deservedly so, I think. Yeah, so I think Lilia outscales Poppy pretty hard. Um,
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Corki, I think, outscales Orianna a little bit, but Orianna's team fighting is so strong when Corki doesn't have package.
Right. I mean, the only like big thing that you need to remember in the Lilia Poppy matchup, as if you're Lilia, is that your W can be blocked by Poppy W.
That's true.
Aside from that, if you just play around that, I mean, it's pretty much, you're Lilia top. You can bully people pretty hard.
Yeah, I think it obviously depends what we see come out for the Lilia build. We've seen, I think, Blake build Riftmaker and be pretty successful on it, but obviously the normal
Right.
Lilia build is Leander's.
Riftmaker is always an option. Personally, I prefer not to build that item. Um, but it is a possibility. Generally, the two builds I go are either Leandries or I gear up towards more of a support tank Lilia. Believe it or not, Moonstone tank Lilia is actually kind of funny.
Huh.
Uh,
Yeah,
it sounds really goofy, but
no,
it's
I can
actually kind
see
of
that
funny.
working pretty well. I just don't think we'll be seeing that coming out
Oh no, probably not this
from
game.
Hong's team.
I do not tolerate
Alright, so we are seeing Nid
Not a problem.
and Gam. So I don't know. Interesting to see what the ban words are going to be this time. Okay, we're right. It is Lilia top, which does make sense.
Yeah, that's definitely the
Especially with the
better
Poppy.
matchups for both junglers.
Now we're seeing a Gwen hover here. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're not being trolled. They won't have to
It will
remake
be
that.
it will be interesting to see Sam on something other than the Kindred.
Yeah, we've
He's
seen
only
Kindred.
gotten Kindred this season.
Yeah, I think we
Um,
have seen 4 games of Kindred from him.
yeah, he's only played Kindred this season. Um, done very well in all of them, actually.
I'm excited to see if his team uh, fares a little bit better with a stronger team fighting that Wukong brings.
Yeah. Wukong definitely more team oriented as opposed to the Kindred scaling.
chaos to follow.
Okay, so we're seeing the gamer ban from Kathy's Kittens and Niddle. I'm assuming that's short for Niddly from Kitten Grooming Service. Game should be starting here in a minute or so. Hopefully Riot Client does not crap out on me like it always does. For the matchups, we haven't seen any Vi Wukong matchups, Corki Ori matchups, or Sivir Kog'Maw matchups. Soraka and Yumi have gone fairly even with very similar KDAs, and the only Lilia and Poppy game we have in the server's history was what looks like to be a stomp on
Was it
Lilia's
my
side.
game? That was my game.
So
That was our game.
that was probably played in jungle then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so from the history of the matchups, it seems like it's about even.
All things considered, one thing to look out for will be the Orianna ball attached to the Wukong. It's really easy way to hit big shockwaves and big Wukong ults is to simply combine the two. Um, it's definitely dangerous and something to look out for.
Yeah, so I think something we missed talking about in like scaling aspects is that Kathy's Kittens team fighting is, I think, significantly stronger. Just on like a theoretical perspective, with Wukong, Orianna ults, Lily asleep, and then Kog'Maw being peeled by Soraka and Wukong.
Yeah, even though Poppy's a really nice comfort pick for Joel here, in terms of blocking dashes, you're really only stopping Wukong, realistically. Lilia doesn't really need her W to put down most of her damage. I mean, and even then, it's not like all that dangerous to hold it. So, I mean, As much as it is a comfort pick, it doesn't have as much value as it could have this game.
That's true.
Um,
On the other
which
hand, I think Kitten Grooming Service has such a strong, like, an obvious go button with Vi Engage or Corki package, and then it's
certainly,
so easy
certainly.
for Sivir and Poppy to follow up, especially with Sivir ult. So
Yeah,
I'll
you
be
just have a
interested to
really
see.
mobile team this game. A lot of movement speed to be spread around. Some dashes. Package obviously. Um, yeah, they kitten grooming services can certainly collapse very quickly.
Yeah, so
Um,
we'll be seeing probably a full engage go button from Kitten Grooming Service and a engage then front to back from Kathy's Kittens, and I'm really not sure which one is better here. I think this game is one of the more even games we've seen recently, just in terms of draft. Hopefully it turns out to play out that way too. I
I
love a
mean,
close game.
one thing to keep in mind is the synergy between Sam and Hung Baba.
That's true.
Is they both play with each other a lot outside of the Scrim server. Hung Baba invited Sam to the server. Um, they play together a lot. And with the two of them being the main part of this big combo on the side of Kathy's Kittens, their synergy and history together could come into play.
That's true. I think this is also one of the rare times we're seeing Kathy's Kittens at full strength, at least I believe in terms of their starters. I think Will is usually the one who's supposed to be playing for them over
Yeah.
UV.
Will always plays ADC or is supposed to be their main ADC.
So excited to see. We are about 15 minutes away from spectator delay.
Minutes?
15 seconds, sorry. Not minutes, don't worry. So hopefully this game will be starting up soon.
The interesting thing is I haven't seen Eric play Yumi all that much, I don't think.
I don't think I've ever
Um,
seen Eric play Yumi. I mean, we know his Blitzcrank is
yeah, I mean, I know
well
he
known and
certainly plays
feared.
a lot of support champions. Uh, he's a very versatile player, good at the game, but
That being
I'm
said,
not sure if I've ever seen him play.
yeah, I think I've mostly only seen him play engaged tanks.
Right.
Now, right, please explain to me why I need to load into the game that's already happened and has already been generated for everyone. Like, my internet is pretty good. Um, Even though I'm on college Wi-Fi, I think I get like 200 megabits down. And
Yeah, I think this is Eric's first game of Yumi in the server.
cool. Okay, there we go. Game is loading in. We will get it set up and we will be in game in a moment.
Yeah, just as a point to note, this is Eric's first Yumi game in the server. Um, we'll see how it goes. I cannot imagine him not being good at it or knowing how to play it, but it's just interesting to see.
Yeah, I'd assume they have this practice. It's very high priority in the pro leagues and everything.
Certainly.
Alright, we should be good. I hope the in-game is working. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing... Oh, I know what happened. This happens every time. 1 second, everyone.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
There we go. Alright, should be good now.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Looks like we're just getting the casual, well, it seems to be pretty normal for most of our teams, these lines of scrimmage. No one invading, no one really walking into the other team's jungle.
Keep coming.
I looked up MOBA Fire Wukong guide before this.
Some trash talk coming out.
Minions have spawned.
So it looks like Mason picked Vi assuming it was a Lilia jungle.
Presumably, yeah.
And it sounds from what I'm hearing from them like the Vi Lilia matchup is a lot better than the Vi Wukong matchup, but I will check up on that real quick.
Certainly.
So some early strong trading from Michael here on the Corki. He did get that first strike proc. We're seeing both junglers start in bot, which makes sense. Lilia Poppy is probably going to have a little bit more action than the Enchanter Hyperscaler
Bot lane.
matchup that we have bought. Yeah, exactly.
Arky making sure he gets value out of that first strike.
So it looks like
Really
Lilia.
trading a lot of damage on the Sivir there.
Yeah, that was a really strong trade for Kathy's Kittens there. It looks like Lilia has a 44% win rate against Vi. And I'm not so Wukong is slightly favored for Wukong. At least with current U.GG statistics.
Right. Oh, a little too close to the wall there. Oh. But a center of the W traded back.
So
Grass
overall,
proc.
that definitely favors Joel. Worth keeping in mind, corrupting potions have been nerfed pretty heavily. That might just be a solo
Oh my
kill.
gosh.
It is. Wow.
That's
Well
just
played
first
to
blood.
Joel.
Lilia stepping a little too close to the wall. Joel definitely known for his poppy pick. He knows his damage. And he knows how to hit those walls.
We've been seeing him get so many solo kills, just one-on-one kills on top, especially when he
Certainly.
gets the poppy.
Early gank here from
This
Mason.
might be a kill, not quite. I think
Not quite a kill.
if that Q landed, they would have been able to kill the Orianna. But so far, game is going
Possibly.
really
Oh.
well for
Flash
Kitten
from
Grooming
Mason.
service.
Probably.
He might just die here.
He's
He
just,
will
yeah,
just die
he's
here.
just going to die there. That's 3 flashes used in mid lane.
That was a great answer by
Oh
Kathy's
my
Kittens.
gosh.
They're forcing both flashes out there. So we're
Orky
even on
also almost
flashes.
dying. There's 4 flashes used in mid lane. Both mid laners have TP. Orianna will probably shove this, take her reset, while Corki resets now. Okay, other way around. Ori will reset now, and Corki will finish the wave and then reset himself.
Interesting to see if Orky can threaten a freeze here and force Orianna TP. I'm assuming she'll just walk. Yeah, looks like that's what she's doing. We already saw Lilia use TP. We're also seeing the Wukong gank here. I don't think they
now
can get
ganking
anything
bot
done
lane.
here.
Sam with a lot of early ganks happening.
Some nice poke there for the Lilia. He did
Conquer
go Conquer
fully
on the
stacked
Lilia,
now.
which makes sense. That's
Conquer,
what
yes,
we'd
certainly makes
expect.
sense. Not bad at all. Sivir running pretty low on mana in the spot lane. Will probably be forced to take a reset soon.
Also,
But
the
with
Corki
their jungler
TP.
pathing towards topside, Sivir might be in trouble on this one. Not a lot of mana means not a lot of wave clear, so it's
Will
hard
is
to get that
pressuring
wave
them pretty
back
well.
off your side.
Seeing some nice trading come out from the Orianna. Now, from what I understand in this mid matchup, and that's not a lot, I do think Orianna should win trades early, at least until Corki gets an item or two and his ult.
Yeah,
So
I
far, that's
mean,
not
I
what
could
we've
see
been
that
seeing,
happening.
but Ori
A
does
big
have
part
a
of
slight
Corki's
CSC.
damage. A big part of Corki's damage is in fact his R. One point of note about the spot lane actually is that if Soraka presses E on a spell shielded Sivir, the initial spell shield, like the initial damage from the E, will break the spell shield, and Sivir will still be silenced.
That's good to know. Yeah, that makes sense. Sounds like that's a pretty good thing for Kathy's Kittens.
Yeah,
we're
it's
seeing
certainly a good way of getting through that
the bot lane
Sivir spell
seems
shield that
really
can be
even right
problematic.
now. The farming is even. They're basically even in gold, I'd assume. Let me check real quick.
Yeah, I mean it would seem that way.
I don't remember how to check it. I thought it was O. It is not. It's X. There we go. Yeah. It looks like about an 100 gold lead for the Kog'Maw, but Nope, there
No.
it is. It's
It's even.
about 50 gold.
It's
Which is
a
basically
minions difference, you know,
Yep.
as they both farm their waves.
Yeah, especially with the wave being built up here for Sivir, she'll close that gap basically just by catching that wave. We do see a
Certainly.
500 gold lead in top, which is interesting because
Well,
Kathy's
it's explained by the
Kittens,
solo kill here.
and Kathy's Kittens is leading. Even so, with that solo kill gold going over to Joel, they're about it's only 100 gold up now, but the gold lead
Most of it
in
comes from
mid
mid
is pretty
CS,
large.
yeah. Oriana's still holding on to that TP.
Some decent trading coming out from Joel here.
Those grass procs really putting the hurt on the Lilia.
This is
Sleep
risky for the
comes through.
Lilia. Vi is here,
No.
and she can die. Corki dodges the
Shockwave goes
Oriole.
wide.
That was really well played.
Lilia, both top laners still alive, even after the gank.
Pretty low. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one of Joel's patented dives here. There it is.
Here we go, into the wall. Doesn't
Forces
even
the
need to
flash.
dive. Flash comes out. Oh, Poppy is really low here. That won't even kill.
That was really close. I want to
Close.
see how much health Lilia has. 40. Okay, so close, but not super close.
Here goes the snowball. Oh, nope, not quite. Swirl seed, snowball, you know.
That's
Same
basically the same
difference.
thing.
Yeah, close enough.
Sivir using her spell shield there to basically heal up all the poke that she took in that trade. We're seeing Vi tick over to... Thought it ticked over to 6, but no, that was just her getting her smite unlocked. A small CS lead for Sam here means that he does have 6 before the Vi. That would be really big if a dragon fight were to break out.
Sparky's starting with the Hex Drinker here. Into the AP mid as well as top. Will help him survive the mid lane and the poke a little bit better.
I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
However, even with it, he's still about 20 CS down.
Yeah, the CS
25 CS
difference in mid has ballooned a little bit. But that makes sense. I think Ori's ability to poke from far away is suppressive, even for a ranged champ like Corki. We see a really big wave built up here for Michael. Not for Michael. For Chris in the top lane. That's some really good poke there for Michael in mid.
There's a
He
lot
missed
of
the big
damage in
rocket,
mid lane.
though.
Flashes forward.
Almost got the kill.
That rocket
If he
will
lands
not
a
kill.
rocket-
One more rocket.
Ooh, that
and
was so
just
close.
not quite enough range.
Needs to be careful
Wukong
here.
now in mid.
I
Wukong
think
flash comes
Corki
out.
dies here.
Yeah, Corki should just
Yeah,
be dead.
just dead.
There's Wukong Flash and R in mid lane.
But they trade drag for that. And overall, while they are down about 600 gold, I think the dragon trade is good, especially in a game that we're guessing will probably go pretty long.
Yeah, once again, it's interesting to see Sam in the jungle really putting in the work for his team.
And ganking.
His
He's
team
just
now
everywhere
ganks
on the map
top.
right now. Ooh, dashes into the Poppy W though, so I don't think they'll be able to get anything there.
He's going to re-gank the
He's
lane,
re-ganking
but
that.
Poppy
This
has
is
no
really
W.
greedy by the Poppy. If he gets an auto Q off, he might just kill, but he has to back off.
He does not have Flash after using it to kill Corki in mid lane, and nor ult. And unfortunately, they just cannot lock this Poppy down. She will be able to survive. Vi starting up the Rift Herald on this one, perhaps.
Seems a little bit risky.
With a little, I mean, with a little bit of top prio and Ori being ahead in this mid lane,
Yeah, looks like Kathy's Kittens will just give
could
it
be
up
risky.
here. Although I do think they have vision. I want to check. They do, but it's been controlled.
Do have
Okay,
vision.
so they're just giving it over. We are seeing Hog posture here a little bit, and
Them heading top again.
gets bonked by the
Presses W too late and gets the Keeper's Verdict to the face. And will no longer be in that lane.
Corki has package. He's pinging it to his team. We're seeing a TP here, and the dive is successful. I think he'll get out without dying too.
Decent assist used to take out the Lilia there in top lane. Orianna is top, but won't be able to secure anything in return.
We are also seeing the Sivir ult come out, forcing the flash, and flashing in return. So all sums are being used here.
Exhaust used.
They should be able to just kill the Soraka.
Soraka flashes.
If the W comes off cooldown, no? Okay, so
And
all the sums used except for
all
Yuumi,
sums in bot lane, except Yumi's
Yuumi
heal.
heal.
Ults from everyone.
but no one dies.
No kills. However, Sivir will now be able to crash this wave.
Yeah, this will
And
probably
deny
generate a little
deny
bit of a
Kog'Maw.
lead in bot.
Yes.
That's just
That
a solo kill, I think.
is looking like
No? He's gonna die to minions. Really
yeah,
well played
wow.
by Hong
Well
there. That was
played
a
by Hong
really,
there.
really good
good
Orianna
flash,
ult.
good spacing, as well as a good ult to
Has to be
stay
tempting
alive and
for,
confirm that kill.
for Joel there.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate to not get the kill, but you're still certainly pretty far ahead in your lane. There's nothing really to be worried about. Sivir has no mana here as a gank comes down.
But she does spell shield the first alt cast. I think she just dies though. Kog'Maw gets the
Second ult
slow and
cast
the
will
ult.
block.
They push
There's the Yuми heal.
And Hong will just walk through
As
turret. I think he'll die here
Wukong.
to... Not Hong, wow. Michael. Not Michael,
Oh
Sam.
my gosh, the Soraka healing.
Yeah, that champ is balanced for
And they
sure.
will just walk away.
Really well played.
Good dive, I guess, from Wukong.
Yeah, I thought he
Sam
would die
really
there.
showing his proficiency on a variety of junglers, not
Knows
just
his
this
limits
Kindred.
really well.
Yeah. Hong Baba trading aggressively. It's now up to about a 30 CS lead.
I'm continuing my inability to name people correctly, but that's okay. We're moving on. It's a plate over
Bot
to
lane
Hong.
CS, yeah. Bot lane CS still about even. An interesting full first item from the Vi on this one. Oh,
Ooh,
good
So
Poppy W.
so clean from Joel there.
The Kempung Chainsword is I don't know.
I think it
It's
makes
certainly
sense.
I think
You're
it has
playing
good
into
value
Soraka.
here.
Soraka has
Yeah, I mean it certainly has good value here, I think.
so much healing. Even if, you know, Ori doesn't heal that much, and Kog'Maw will
Wukong
heal
healing,
more when he gets more healing.
Kog'Maw will heal, Lilia
Lilia
does a little bit of
heals.
healing, yeah.
But not
And
enough
another
to
dive
outdo
comes
the
in
dive.
top lane, and Lilia will go down another time.
Doing
Sivir
force
ult
uses
used
all
there
Or yeah, exactly. Getting some
on the
nice
hunt.
poke onto Sam. We're also
On the
seeing
hunt used.
Mason rotate down here. They're probably posturing for drag. Drag is up in about 12 seconds.
Mid lane Rift Herald, did that secure any plates? I think it was that Rift Herald was too late to
I
secure
think
any
so,
plates.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Kog'Maw is almost dead, so is Soraka, so she won't be able
Yeah,
to heal much.
Kog'Maw
They might
taking
just have
some
to give up
serious
drag
poke
here.
under tower here.
We are seeing Mason being the first to drag. He hops across. Sam is on his way. He's about probably 10 seconds away. A little bit less.
I
at
would
this
guess that it's hard for them to contest, and this is probably just second dragon over to Kitten Grooming Services.
He might try to steal though. It would be risky though.
Bot and mid now collapsing onto the
They
play.
both have prio. Okay, they turn off of
They
the
turn.
drag. Really good silence there
Wukong
from
on
the
top
Soraka.
of 3 people.
Wow, that was just really well played by
Thanks,
Sam and
Corky.
Kathy.
Triumph. He heals him for a lot.
Flashes
He's flashing
forward.
forwards
They might just
onto the
win this.
Sivir.
The Warriors behind. Yeah, they just clean house.
Wukong
Really well played.
survives.
This should be a solo kill. Nope. The Keeper's Verdict
Oh,
does hit.
good keeper's verdict. Canceling the
Yeah, I
Lothar
think-
Lullaby.
I think that was almost best case scenario for Kathy's Kittens.
However, some really good play by the Infernal Dragon means that Wukong will not only pick up 2 more kills and win the fight, but that they will also secure this Infernal Dragon. And we have a Mountain Soul
Which
on the table this game.
pretty good for both teams, I think. Good for games that go late.
Certainly.
Important for the front line for both teams, considering they're playing into hyperscalers.
Interesting that even though there is a 3 kill difference, there's only about a 400, 500 gold difference, or lead for Kathy's Kittens.
I would
This game?
assume that's because of plates in top and bot.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
There's about a 1k gold lead in top lane. For this Poppy. And I think, well, and a 1k lead in the jungle. The lane that is really making the difference. Those two lanes sort of being balanced out by this Orianna with a 1k gold lead in mid.
True. Although Sam is the one with the gold lead in jungle, so that's a pretty good
Yeah.
fight breaking out here. They
Oh,
should
that's
get
true.
the ward
True.
here. There it is. Sivir and Yumi all being used. They might be able to get the Soraka finally, but she gets out. Still no deaths, doing great healing for her team. I think they would have lost that dragon fight without her ult and silence on the Corki.
All right.
Joel looking for a kill on the Lilia.
Lilia,
forces the flash
good
again.
flash. Lilia, unfortunately, taking taking a bit of a beating, showing Joel's proficiency on his champion.
Yeah, I don't think it's on the
Even in this
Lilia here. I think
matchup-
Joel has just been playing really well.
Yeah, even in this matchup that is usually Lilia favored. Vi is now in top lane.
Wukong is in trouble here. I
As Cyclone 1 will come out. Wukong
Surprising-
probably
oh,
dead
they-
this game.
he knew that
Soraka
the
are
Soraka-
here.
That was so clean by Sam.
That is the keeper's verdict.
Oh my.
Poppy wouldn't go down. Lilting Lullaby comes out. This should just be a dead Vi as well.
That was so clean. They
Until
knew the
given over to
Soraka ult
Lilia.
was coming. They were probably calling for it.
On the other side of the map, the bot lane is Dove. Soraka keeping Kog'Maw alive long enough to kill the Sivir.
So they trade 1 for 2 for the turret here, and then a 2 for 0 in the top lane. So overall, I think that's positive.
It's
for
definitely positive.
Could have been
for-
worse, but
Kathy's
Kitten Grooming
Kittens
Service
is-
does have the lead now.
That is true.
And it looks like the lead is
Blue team's turret has been
from
As-
mid. Mid has basically
as,
equalized, yeah. So that's
Larger
what the difference
CS
was.
leads, yeah, as larger CS leads come out here. There's about a 50 CS lead in mid,
This will just be a solo kill.
30 in top.
I don't even know
Corky
if we needed to
damage.
flash there.
Corky really putting the damage down onto the Lilia there. This poor Lilia is having a rough game.
Hopefully Chris's mental stays strong. He's been contributing even though he's been behind in his lane. And obviously, even if Lilia does fall behind, her ult can have just so much impact late game.
Of course, second Herald was picked up by the Wukong, probably going to be dropped mid. Crack open that mid tier 1 tower.
Would be really impactful for their game plan, just being able to rotate so much faster.
Poppy,
Joel being very aggressive here, but does dodge the
Shockwave goes a
Shockwave.
little wide. Wukong jumping forward, forced to turn away.
buy here going on the Kog'Maw. Uses the red smite, but he does a lot of damage.
Kog'Maw does a lot of damage, and
And
Soraka's here.
Soraka's there in time.
Vi will just die.
Now, if I know Vi, or if I know Mason, and I know him a decent amount, I played with him a couple times, he will be very tilted about that. Let's see if he'll be able to keep his mental here.
I mean,
Another
unfortunately,
dive by
Vi
Joel, and Ori just gets out.
will
Just
just
die
away.
here.
Poppy will just die. Wukong now on top of Sivir, flashing forwards.
Forces the Sivir flash.
Sivir will also flash. So Sivir has no flash.
Seems like
Down
this
here in
game
the
is just
lane,
a
Kog'Maw
pendulum.
and Soraka will secure the tier 1.
We've been seeing some plays work out for Kathy's Kittens, and then a bunch of plays in a row work out for Kitten Grooming Service, and it just keeps switching back and forth.
Yeah, the
This
Rift
is a
Herald
really
is used
close
mid,
game. Gold is basically even right now.
and
It's
the
a
tier
little
1
bit of a
will
gold
go
lead because
down.
of the Herald, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, so Tank Vi just doesn't really do that much damage. Kog'Maw with a Rage Blade and a Zeal does more damage than you would think. Vi flashing forwards into a silence pool.
Good
Will not
flash
be
there
able
by the
to
Soraka. I think
get anything on Soraka.
Kog'Maw's a
Soraka's
little bit out of
not moving at
position
all.
here. He might just die.
Kog'Maw's certainly out of position. Will definitely just go down. Big shockwave. He
might be
also
able
goes
to
down on
turn this.
Wukong.
The
Wukong
Soraka is
dashing
still alive.
forwards.
Getting so much value for her team.
Corky goes down. Wukong gets pinned to a wall.
Lilia's redemption
And
arc gets a triple kill.
Kathy's Kittens will come out on top on this one. As Poppy will be able to get away, pinning a minion.
So we're seeing the superior team fighting ability from the Kathy's Kitten draft here.
Yeah,
Obviously, the
really
go
big
button.
shockwave goes down there.
Yeah, the go button was really successful to get the initial Kog'Maw pick, but then the teamfight re-engage by Kathy's Kittens was so successful. Just Lilia all, Ori all. Um, I don't think Soraka ulted there, but her healing was so impactful, even though she was low health.
Yeah.
Seeing the difference in what each team is trying to accomplish in the draft here.
This Wukong now the only champion in the lobby here yet to die. Sam with a really strong performance.
He's
from
also
Wukong.
building Death Stand, so he's gonna make it even harder to kill him.
Yeah, that's true.
There's the Death Stand.
Corki being the only AP damage for the side of Kitten Grooming Services. Unless you count your Yumi, I suppose.
I don't count Yumi, especially when she's not building AP. I do prefer the Moonstone. I think the Moonstone is just a much better.
Yeah, Moonstone's
build
certainly a good
for
pick here.
Yumi.
Wukong does not know that Vi is here. Vi Smite will take away the red buff, and she will escape over the wall. Unfortunate bit of vision there.
Not a big deal though. There's still almost 2,500 gold ahead, and
Certainly
they do
not.
have one dragon advantage here.
Yeah. So there will be no early soul this game. Sort of as expected, both of these teams more scaling oriented.
Should be seeing some vision fights around Baron here. Doesn't look
Most likely.
like it though. Yumi is just staying on Sivir, which does make sense. Sivir is so hard to catch, especially with the Yumi on her with the zoomies.
Absolutely.
We're also
One
seeing...
thing to note is that on the side of Kathy's Kittens, everyone has so much kill participation. Everyone is sort of involved in every fight. Whereas on the side of Kitten Grooming Services, it's been more solo kill oriented.
Yeah, I definitely think the focus from Kitten Grooming Service this game has been on like individual skill more so than like collapsing
Team
on
play.
team fights. And
Yeah.
Kathy's Kittens has been playing really well. around
It's
each
good to
other.
see Kathy's Kittens team play improving. In some of their early games this season, they would all have strong early games, but as they transferred into the mid and late game, their teamwork would start to fall apart, and they wouldn't play as cohesively. It's nice to see them all playing together well.
Some character development here. We saw the Corki package from behind. This
That was
could be
good.
exactly
That was a
what Kitten Grooming
massive
Service
Corki
needed.
package.
Mason with the double kill.
Oh yeah, hits the one-man lullaby. There's
It's a
nothing
clean
that can
4
be
for
done.
nothing. They should just go to the Baron here, I think.
Really good fighting here from Kitten
Sam
Grooming
is still
Services.
alive, but if they can keep him away from the Baron, they'll be fine. They haven't cleared vision though, so he will know what's going on. Both Ori and Lilia have TP, although I don't think the Baron will stay alive long enough for that to matter.
Wukong does have Flash. He could make an effort to get into the pit here. With Flash as well as his W.
It seems
Although
like he's not
Poppy
even
is running
contesting it,
zoning.
though.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably
he's
just
gonna
giving it
back.
up.
Once again,
And Baron will
pendulum
go
swung
down.
in favor of Kathy's Kitten, swings right back in favor of Kitten Grooming Service.
Off the back of a massive package from Corki.
Yeah,
Great
that
TP
was
flank.
Really well played by him. I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes a 40-minute game, the way things are looking right now.
Yeah.
I do want to see a smaller gold lead in top now because of that triple kill. Jungle
Corki
still
now
has,
back ahead.
Jungle still has the lead in favor of Sam, which makes sense. He's 6-0-4.
Yeah, Corki now back ahead in gold though, after a few kills and assists into his pocket.
Yeah, with that bot dive and the huge package in this latest play.
Yeah, even at a deficit of about 50 CS, Corki's still with a 700 gold lead.
It looks like Kog'Maw is building towards the Titanic Hydra here, which
Oh, that
would
makes
let-
sense.
it would let
think
his
it's-
wave clear be close to rivaling Sivir's. Obviously, Sivir's is probably the strongest ADC wave clear in the game.
Yeah, I think it makes sense here. They don't necessarily have a ton of peel as in terms of a traditional front to back. Wukong really just wants to get on top of the back line. And Lilia is not all that tanky as it stands. So I think Wukong, or not Wukong, Kog'Maw having a little bit of...
Yeah, I just might be dead here. Yeah, the
I
Kog'Maw shot
I
from
just
far away.
explodes.
Really well played.
Yumi has now been CC'd and cannot reattach. Keeper's Verdict will send Wukong away.
They should just
Unfortunately,
disengage here, though. They got the Vi in front of the dragon. They can back off, try to heal a little bit with the Soraka, and then come
Corki
back.
Rocket's doing a lot of damage. Shockwave hits Poppy.
Good flash by the Kog'Maw. Unfortunately, he was separated from his team, so he couldn't get any healing there. But oh,
Sivir
he gets
just
the passive
gets the
kill.
Kog'Maw passive.
Oh my.
Exhaust used on the Wukong. Lilting Lullaby puts Poppy to sleep.
Sam goes godlike. Still will not die. The healing is just too much.
And 5 for 2 in favor of Kathy's Kittens.
Once again, they get the gold lead, and they'll
Teamfight
get their third
switches.
dragon of the game.
This is the third dragon of the game, yeah.
Which, in a game that we think, again, will go long, this is huge for them. The fact that they managed to pick off Vi there at the start of that long extended fight.
Yeah, made a big difference.
Really good awareness by Hong and Sam directing their team from
Yeah.
what I'm assuming is good, just strong macro calls.
Yeah, it was sort of emphasized there, though. The Wukong, or not the Wukong, the Kog'Maw doesn't necessarily have all that much peel, as Sivir and Yumi just kind of run at him. So, you know, Titanic Hydra, a little bit more health, will serve him well in terms of a little bit of self-peel in the form of just straight health. Cease and desist used on Lilia. She's not
here.
going to be fast enough. She
Yeah.
just dies here. Ghost used from Sivir, however.
I think if I was getting Grooming service, I'd rather that kill go to Dean to be able to hopefully complete the Infinity Edge. He should be able to
Certainly.
get it after this wave.
The Ghost
he has
on
enough.
Sivir, however, an important cooldown that was used there.
So he will get the Infinity Edge, nevertheless, which is a huge spike. I was talking to Jacob earlier. He's been trying to get on his ADC arc, and he says
Yeah.
when he plays Sivir, she doesn't feel like a champion really until she gets the Infinity Edge. And I'd agree with him there. It's such a huge power spike.
Infinity Edge certainly bringing a lot of damage into the kit. The CS lead continues to grow in mid, as we are now approaching about an 90 CS lead.
I'd love to see a Flame Horizon by Hong here.
Big difference. The last time we checked, the gold was still pretty even.
It's literally at a tie right now, about 100, 200 gold difference. As
Even the 90
Kog'Maw
CS
catches
lead, the gold is still about even. I think first strike and kills making up most of
Yeah,
that.
that's a good point. I'm curious how much gold Corki has from first strike. If it would let me check. It looks like he has 500 gold games.
500 gold off of first strike is a
That's
good amount of gold.
Yeah, it's not insignificant. I've seen higher values from games that go to 30 minutes. But obviously, Kathy's Kittens does have a good amount of range with the Kog'Maw and the Orianna. So it makes sense that it wouldn't be like huge. Wukong might be caught out here though.
Still 500 gold, nothing to laugh at. Wukong caught in Poppy's field. The Cyclone comes out, and Wukong will finally die.
Yeah, there was
for
a
the
ton of
first
healing
time
coming
this
out
game.
there, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately.
Kog'Maw putting down a lot of damage.
Oh, did he kill her with red buff? I think that might have been red buff taking.
Maybe that could have also have been his R. The Shockwave caught Poppy there. As Kitten Grooming Services will be forced to walk away.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be trying to disengage here. I don't think they have the health to keep
Their
fighting.
health bar is very low.
Hog is still
And
pushing
Kathy's
up
Kittens will begin attacking the mid lane.
to get a turret. That's pretty good, even though they lost Sam and that 1,000 gold shutdown.
However, I believe that Corki's Maul is still up.
Yeah,
So, that is an important item in his kit. Oh my gosh, the rocket damage onto the Orianna.
It looks like now he's building towards the Ravenous Hydra, which is pretty
Most
standard.
likely.
And not
Yeah,
surprising
it makes
at
a lot
all.
of sense.
The red buff will go over to Will here.
This
Will-
dragon does start coming up in a minute, about a minute and 20 seconds now. Kitten Grooming Service really needs to try and get some vision around this dragon, get set up for it if they can, because a Mountain Soul on top of Kog'Maw already building some tank stats, and as tanky as Wukong naturally is,
Are they just gonna try to sneak the Baron?
That's a Baron. Sivir and
just-
Vi could definitely do it, just the two of them. Corki and Yumi are now here.
I just
and
noticed
I don't
that
think
Vi has
Kathy's
the
Kittens knows.
Sunfire, which
Yeah,
would make this a really fast Baron.
I don't think Kathy's Kittens don't even know.
What a great
Baron
call.
now goes over to Kitten Grooming Services.
That was such a
Bowling
good
ball
call
hits
by Kitten Grooming Service. Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
bold, but it worked out. And you know, at the end of this game, we might be touting that as the reason that they win, if they do win. With the Baron, they'll be able to get mid push way easier, which will give them stronger priority for drag, which is coming up in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And they also get the Baron empowered recalls just to be able to buy off of that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Orianna is close to a fourth item. Not quite able to afford it yet. Looks like it's going to be a Shadow Flame
Yeah,
for her.
definitely makes sense. The rocket lands from across the wall. That was some really
That's
good
a
poke
lot
damage.
of damage. Shockwave catches 3.
I think that was used a little bit too early. They weren't able to follow up. Poppy
Keeper's
knocks
Verdict
away
knocks 2 away.
2 away. Orianna uses a stopwatch. She'll
Orianna
just
goes
die
golden. Will just get bursted out of her stopwatch. Kog'Maw and Soraka separated from everyone. Exhaust goes down on Kog'Maw. He just
Probably
has
just
so much
dead.
health. Unable to kill the Sivir.
Ooh, it almost happened again. but Yubi
Passive
was
not quite
heal
able to
just
take
in
her
time.
out.
So
Bowling ball hits Sivir. Wait, she might
it
burn.
killed her.
She burns from the bowling ball. That's one Baron removed. Corki
flash.
flashing forwards into
Don't know what he was
nothing.
going for there.
I think he thought Lilia was retreating towards the tower instead of just into the jungle. A questionable flash, certainly.
Soraka.
Oh,
ended
maybe
that fight with
Soraka.
only like 30 or 40 health.
Yeah, he might have been hunting Soraka on that one.
Yeah, that would make sense. I was gonna say, Kitten Grooming Service manages to stave off the soul, but then Dean just died to the lone tumble seed. Game should slow down here a little bit. The teams will just grab some farm.
Kitten Grooming
Kitten
Service is going to
grab some
siege here.
turrets. Yep, exactly. But they should be backing here soon just to be able to buy. They got a lot of gold off of the past couple minutes.
As they now probably wait for the next objective to come out. Kitten Grooming Services, after these last couple plays, now up to about a 4K gold lead.
At this stage of the game, though, I don't think that's super significant. Like, yeah, it's
Certainly not.
4,000. They're a little bit ahead, but both teams have scaled to the point where that's
Yeah,
the
certainly
difference
not-
of like an item, and that's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal.
Certainly not a massive deal, but it is a point of note. They do currently hold the gold lead.
It looks like Will is building towards that Immortal Shield Bow here. That would be a really big buy for him. Just being able to get some more survivability. some
Yeah,
more
I
self-heal.
almost like the Frostfire Gauntlet more for him though this game. Frostfire
Yeah,
Gauntlet.
I could see that. I think
being
Frostfire this season was nerfed a couple times for ranged users. But I think
Right.
it still is usually
I think
the
it-
go-to
I think
for
it-
this build.
Yeah, I think it complements your Titanic Hydra well. Gives you a little bit more health, as well as the slow fields to sort of help peel yourself. Sure, it's not a shield, but it's got some health and some slows built into it.
We'll be able to ask him after the game. I do agree with you now that I'm looking at Kitten Grooming Services items. They have the Chemtech Putrefy and the Chempunk Chainsword. Now, the Chainsword as a first item built, only reducing 900 healing isn't major, but having the
Yumi
life steal that you
Putrefire
get
certainly
from
makes
the
sense.
shield bow cut is pretty big. I do
That's
think
true.
that might push it in the favor of building Frostfire instead.
Yeah, Chemtech Putrefire is certainly a good item for this Yumi to be buying here.
And I know as a Shyvana player, you're a big Frostfire enjoyer.
Vi now up to a 40 CS lead on this Wukong as her clear starts to get better further into this
Are
game.
seeing the Flame Horizon in mid though. Flame Horizon and then some. It's almost 130 minions.
Yeah. Orianna farming really well this game. Certainly putting out a
Basically
lot
what
of
we've
damage.
come to expect from Hog. And Sivir also has really good farm, 280 in 35 minutes. Kog'Maw's is also pretty good, but not to that level. Could mean the difference between, Sivir has completed the Bloodthirster, which is huge for her. There's so much more survivability before Kog'Maw completes that Immortal.
Yeah, Orianna being level 18 already. No one else is on her team is close. They're all 2 or more levels down.
Or keep pinging to his team that he's about 30 minutes, or 30 seconds, I keep doing that, 30 seconds away from getting his package. That could be when we see the
that
next
is an
team fight
important
happen.
one. Yeah, that'll probably be as Baron spawns in about
Just
30
in time
seconds.
for Baron spawning, he'll be able to grab it.
Dragon a minute.
To Baron Pit.
Yeah. Package will certainly be important in this fight. Something to look out in the upcoming fights. It'll be something to look out for. As Kitten Grooming Services shove in mid and probably get ready for one of these objectives to come up.
Seeing the vision being cleared by both teams here. But KGS does have the advantage in that they have vision on.
Sivir now with 4
Kathy's
items
Kittens.
and a stopwatch.
Yeah, this team fight is going to be big. Corki has the package now.
Green rolling package. 2 Wukong holding onto a stopwatch as well.
Kog'Maw and Ori are pretty far from the pit here. It looks like both teams are coming to the Baron.
Dragon is alive. They're just gonna burn it down. And
if I was Kathy's Kittens
Kittens
here, I would have just given
cannot
the
even
drag
get into the
for
pit.
the Baron. Here they just lose everything and
Kathy's Kittens cannot even get into the pit. Kitten Grooming Service is now gonna make a run for Baron.
The Tumble Seed unfortunately only hits one.
Vi goes over the wall, straight onto Orianna. Package separates the team. Cyclone catches one. Shockwave catches one. And Corki putting out a lot of damage at this point in the game.
Yeah,
as
this
Kathy's
might just be the
Kittens
game.
will just get
They should
exploded.
be able to end here.
Kitten Grooming Services winning game 1 here. A great start to the engage from the Vi. Catching the Orianna.
Alright, that's just the game here. Alright, a really long game. It was almost 40 minutes. Hopefully we see something similar come out. We are going to wait for draft for the rest. I will regenerate assets. I love that part. And we will be back in about 5 minutes for draft. So Alright, the standings should be updated. Draft is in about 3 minutes. We're gonna take a quick break because that game was really long. So we'll see you in a couple minutes. Alright, we are back. Draft should be starting right about now. So I will get that up. Let me share that for you. Alright. Still waiting on both teams to be ready here. But should be getting into the game soon. Alright, and we're getting into draft now. Oh, no, scratch that. Kathy's Kittens is not quite ready yet. Looks like we're still waiting on Kathy's Kittens here. Maybe some time to detilt, although draft should have started already.
We'll flag them for delay of game.
True. 5-yard penalty. Getting some inside intel from Kathy here. She says she has no idea what's going on. we are getting some updates here. Looks like Hong had to do something RA related, got a noise complaint, but draft is starting now. There we go.
I didn't know Hong was an RA.
I don't know
That's
if he's an
interesting.
RA or if someone called a noise complaint on him. Either one I would not be surprised about.
No, Teddy
Alright.
isn't usually that loud, I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, all these bands make sense, I would say.
Yep.
Pretty stock standard stuff.
I put Joel top because I'm assuming his Poppy will just come back top.
Right. That's probably a fair guess. So long as Poppy doesn't get banned. Joel's Poppy, with as strong as it is, actually doesn't see many bans, believe it or not.
That's true. The Seraph does get most of the bans. Alright, the exact same bans from KGS here. Makes sense, they're on the same side, it worked for them. And I think that's almost the exact same. We see the Sivir ban instead of, I think it was Kane, first rotation?
I believe, no, Kane was second rotation. I'm not sure what the ban was. I think Kane was second rotation. I suppose that could be inaccurate.
And there's the first pick Poppy, yep.
There's Poppy, no surprise there.
Basically exactly what we expected.
Yeah, Joel obviously very comfortable and proficient on the champion.
First pick, Blind Victor here. I'm assuming that's for Honk. I don't hate
Yeah,
it, to be honest.
I mean, Victor is just a very strong champion, able to dish out a lot of damage. Relatively safe. Generally just a good pick.
Like they are gonna keep leaning towards the team fight, kite back, front to back comp. There's a Lily again.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It worked pretty well for them, I'd say. I mean,
I think the last game could have gone either way. It was just.
it was a very close game. That sneaky Baron sort of
sealed the deal, yeah. Curious to see if we get the Vi insta-lock again into the Lilia, and then we'll see the Wukong again. Probably not. I feel like Mason will learn his lesson. That's Michael's Kale. He's pretty comfortable on it. I think it's one of his. It's his. I don't think it's his most played champ in this server, but he's definitely played multiple games.
Yeah,
on-
he's certainly
on
had some
Kale.
strong performances on that Kale as well, if I'm not mistaken.
And it makes sense into Victor. You get as much scaling, if not more.
Yeah.
We're also seeing the Nautilus pick, so that's
That is certainly a more Eric-styled champion. Makes a
definitely-
lot of sense.
Definitely one of his comfort picks. I've seen multiple of his Nautilus games. He has very clean hook buffers. So this should be an exciting game once again. Hopefully mid lane doesn't make it too boring. Kale and Victor is just going to be a scaling game. But I'm hopeful Hong can make it more interesting for us. That's a Kathy Leona hover. And it's a lock-in. Now, I've played with Kathy a good bit. Leona isn't one of her preferred champs to play, but when she has an ADC like dictate when she should engage, her mechanics are really solid and it usually goes pretty well. I don't know how assertive Will is going to be, or even if it is going to be Will bot. They might be switching Will and Hong here. Either way, the Leona does have really good potential, and I think it's pretty good into Nautilus too. You don't really want to hook a Leona into your team as Nautilus.
Certainly not.
See the Wukong ban here. Definitely makes sense. Ziggs and Corki bans. I don't
Yeah.
know why they banned Corki here. Maybe they think it's Kale.
I mean,
top, Poppy
Corki
jungle.
Corki was dishing out a lot of damage last game. That, you know, could be part of the reasoning. It is an interesting ban, just sort of cleaning up some of Will's picks here, making it hard for him to decide what to play.
I still don't. I think the Corki ban is weird. I would have assumed it was a Kale mid. Maybe they're assuming it's gonna be a Kale top.
A lot of
Vanilla
ADC hovers
here.
from this one.
Trundle pick.
So it is going to be Lilia top again.
Trundle is, I
Although
think...
it could be Trundle top.
No, I think they're assuming it's Poppy jungle here and it's Kale going top, and that's why they banned the Quirky. Trundle in pro play is one of the strongest picks into Poppy. He doesn't have dashes, he gets rid of her tankiness with his ult. He does the same thing to Nautilus with his ult. I think that's just a really solid pick for Sam.
Probably a good Trundle game. It also helped with Kale kiting as
He's a
well.
Tristana lock-in.
Tristana just got buffed. Makes a lot of sense with Nautilus. You want an aggressive support to go with your Tristana.
And I'm not sure about this, but I think that is a Dean Comfort pick.
Yes, it is. It is in fact a Dean Comfort pick. He is certainly proficient on the champion.
Curious to see what ADC we come out here against the Tristana, and also what this last pick is for blue. Okay, so it is a Poppy top, Viego jungle, unless they're pulling out a Viego jungle, or a Viego top lane after he got like 3 different nerfs to his laning. I'm pretty sure that's a Mason Viego though.
Definitely Mason's Viego. I don't see Joel playing Viego.
Kaisa hover here. I would actually, yeah, I really like that pick for them.
Yeah, I think Kaisa's pretty strong here.
They have a solid early with the Trundle. Kaisa
They have
bridges
a
them
really
into
good
the,
way of going forward.
Kaisa bridges them into the mid to late game from the Trundle, and then they have Victor scaling. So I like...
both teams really want to walk forwards into each other on this one, I would say.
I like the drafts for both teams. I think Kale is a little bit weird with Poppy Nautilus Tristana Viego.
Right.
They all want to go forward, but she does have ult, and with a Kale ult being able to adjust for the aggressive play we saw for them last game, it definitely makes sense. I don't hate it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. So it's another pretty close draft. It just sort of depends on how the game plays out.
It's not letting me join the spectate link because there's already 4 people in the spectate link. I hate it here. There we go. Alright, so Poppy top again. Not surprising at all.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it didn't get banned, to be honest.
I am too. I think it would have been better for them. And then the assumption that we saw, I'm pretty sure, we'll have to ask them after the game, but I think they thought it was a Kale top. Which is a little bit weird, because we've seen the Poppies so many times just go into the top lane for Joel. Should be hopping into the game here soon. With, of course, that 3-minute spectator delay.
Draven out.
Hearing the ban noises, I'll mute that real quick. There we go. I'll stream draft for you real quick. What's up?
I was reading Michaela in general. Guys, I think I like Alawi.
Michaela says the weirdest stuff just straight out of left field. She's a support main, and then I think for a little bit she was saying she was gonna switch to be a top main, and now she's trying out Alawi top. It's definitely interesting.
I don't know. Michaela has fun.
Yeah. That's what games are for, you know?
Hat Sam S. I hate you. Let's see, what happened here? He just picked Trundle.
Alright, we can swap back to the waiting screen. I'm going to swap it to... That didn't work. Don't want the key players. Okay, I hate it here. I just want to see the champ matchups. But it won't let me. My guy. There we go. Alright, so we said last game that the Poppy Lilia match up top was pretty Lilia favored. Obviously last game proved that.
I think
Maybe
Joel's
wrong.
proficiency just. I believe it's still Lilia favored. I think just Joel's proficiency on the champion is sort of important.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. We are seeing a pretty favorable matchup for Kaisa here in server.
Yeah,
Following
I
0
think-
losses into the Tristana.
Yeah. I think the Kaisa is definitely a good pick. And certainly a champion that Will is comfortable on, even after seeing, 382 or 3 ADC bans, whatever it was.
Yeah. We have about 3 minutes before the game starts for us spectators. Who do you think won draft here?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's hard to say. I think it really comes down to how both teams execute their gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can say that for almost every draft, to be fair.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some drafts that are just like turbo unwinnable, but yeah. I don't know. I think the Kale is definitely something to be wary of.
Yeah,
But
that's definitely a nice scaling option. Same with Victor. Victor scales really well. We saw Valor have, I think, like a 11.0 KDA on Victor yesterday.
yeah.
So we've seen him pretty successful.
Yeah. I think the
Selfishly,
Trundle is definitely a good pick here, though.
yeah, into the Poppy, I think it works. Unfortunately, I think he does lose to Viego, especially if the game goes long.
Presumably.
But overall, I think the scaling is pretty even. Tristana should be able to get early push against Kaisa, maybe try to deny some farm, but I think Kaisa scales a little bit better.
Yeah. I would agree. Well, I think Kaiser can definitely blow up one person better. Tristana, has those resets.
That's true.
Likes to jump around a bit more.
I'm curious if we'll see Halo Blades come out from both ADCs. It's been the normal on both for a while. I think recently Tristana players have been shifting a little bit to press the attack.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Tristana Hailblades is obviously good because it, helps you pop that explosive charge very quickly.
It's true. I wouldn't be surprised if we see lethal tempo from at least one of them. Um, it's so good in late game
Yeah.
team fights. If they think the game's going to go long, they might just pick it for the scaling options.
Yeah, it's an option. I'm not sure if it's necessarily the best option on the two ADCs we have here, but obviously it's a very strong rune.
Yeah, definitely. Not sure why, but we're not seeing the player matchups. Probably
We
user
load into the
error on
game
my
in the
part.
next. The game will start in about the next 30 seconds to a minute, depending
That's
on the
true.
loading screen time.
Looks like so far for all the players, the only stats we have for the majority of them is a win for the KGS players and a loss for the Kathy's Kittens players. The only caveat to that rule is Dean and Will They've played 11 games. Dean has won 6, so pretty even. Dean's KDA has been almost 3, which is pretty good. Will has been 2.67, which isn't bad, but obviously not as good. And that makes sense. He's not won as many of those games. But should be a pretty even game. I hope Kathy's Kitten's mental stays strong. Selfishly, I don't want this game to go very long. I don't want this to be another 4-hour cast like my first one. But yeah, hopefully we see clean team fights from both sides. Worth noting, obviously mastery doesn't mean anything, especially in organized play, but every single player on Kitten Grooming service has mastery 7 here, and the only mastery 7 is on the Kaisa for Will.
Yeah. I mean, Sam is traditionally a support player. Playing jungle this season still has had a phenomenal performance. Despite not necessarily winning many of his games.
Hopefully we'll see him reverse that trend in this game. Game should be just about ready. I love how long it takes for, like, you get in the game and then it just takes like 3 years to actually load.
Yeah.
Alright, we should be able to switch into the in-game broadcast here. Alright, should be good. There we go. Alright, so as the teams get onto the map, Trundle has some pretty strong invade potential. At least level 1. I think his clear isn't healthy enough to do it at like as a late invade after a camp or 2.
A few things to point out right at the start of the game. Leona happens to be holding Exhaust this game. Victor has Ghost. Aside from that, pretty straightforward summoner spells.
Definitely. Mason seems to be talking a little bit of shit. Actually, it might not be shit. Knowing Mason, you can't tell. Seems like it was just genuine curiosity. But yeah, looks like the early game here will be pretty tame, just like the last one.
Yeah.
I will not read that statement in the hopes that this server will one day get a Riot sponsorship, even though we talk trash about them all the time. Alright, so same start that we saw from last game, both junglers starting bot side, getting the bot leash and pathing towards top. I think this game, it makes a little bit less sense. Obviously, Joel will always be ready to fight, so Joel will be trading in this top lane, but a matchup as explosive as Leona Nautilus and Tristana Kaisa, I feel like whoever ganks this lane first will just win that lane. Or their bot lane.
Yeah. I mean, very obviously, Victor will sort of bully this Kayle until she hits level 6.
Probably even a little bit more than that.
Yeah, he does have
CS
some long
is
range.
pretty even here.
As Nautilus will walk forward. Kitten Grooming
That's the
Services will hit level
route
2
to
first.
Kaisa.
Tristana will jump
That's just gonna
forward.
be a kill. They got level 2 first.
Heal goes out, Exhaust goes down, but I think it's too late. Nautilus will secure first blood.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a double kill. This game seems
double
like
kill
it might
will go
already be
down.
over.
As a lot of summoners are used in the bot lane.
Only Ignite though for KGS for 3 summoners and 2 deaths for Kathy's Kittens. That's already a 1k gold lead. And yeah, that might I don't want to call the game over because obviously Kai'Sa
Oh, those were
scales pretty
two
well,
important bot lane kills. Kathy's Kittens just not respecting the level 2 out of Nautilus Tristana.
We see Kai'Sa get back to lane without even being able to buy something. With a kill and an assist for the Tristana, I'm assuming we'll see a decent buy. Victor uses the Ghost to get out away from the Viego and the kill here.
Poppy able to run around the pillar.
Force
Has the flash,
the
but will make it out.
Yep. So the game has slowed down a little bit. The gold lead has been pretty consistent since that double kill for KGS bot. Looks like Viego will get both scuttles though, which is pretty significant. He did the 5 camp clear into the...
That was a full 6
the
camps,
crabs?
it looks like.
Did he go 6 camps? No, he's at 28.
I mean,
He's at 28.
oh,
He's got
you're
2
right,
scuttles.
you're right.
Is this gonna
You're
be another
right.
solo kill? Nope, just forces the flash out.
However, he did just invade Trundle.
Yeah, stole that Gromp.
Trundle, yeah, Trundle now down to Gromp.
That's about what I'd expect from Mason. He knows his matchups really well.
That's true.
He's also pretty good at knowing when to invade. Seems like Sam might know that someone already took his Gromp. See all the question mark ping, but yeah, and he's not even gonna walk there, so he knows.
Yep.
The game has slowed down though. We're seeing some light trading, but mostly farming. Good pillar here for Trundle. Just gonna be able to...
Well, now that the
down.
aftershock is worn off, Nautilus is a lot squishier. Viego will show
Viego
up.
Has, he might just be able to turn this though. Has to
Bot
flash
lane
the
is here.
Leona's Zenith Blade.
Viego will flash. Kale now
This
being
is
run
a
down.
W.
Kale's
I think
still
he'll
level
just die
5.
here.
This is really scrappy.
Yeah, really scattered fight. Hog is the first to go down.
Victor
Viego
will go
gets a
down.
reset.
Possession will come out. However, Viego
Already
will
2
go
kills for them though.
down.
Should just be able to
Tristana
get Dean here.
should go down next.
Yep, there it is. That's
And
really
all
big.
of a sudden, the kills are even this game.
And they'll be able to get the first drag, which we saw them stacking drags early last game. They weren't able to leverage into a soul, but if they can get some early dragon stacking this game and get the Kai'Sa ahead, especially with the value from that Hextech dragon, could be really major.
Yeah.
The team has slain the dragon.
Tam once again collecting a lot of the kills for his team.
Although I like it a little bit less on the Wukong I like it a little bit less on the Trundle compared to when it was on the Wukong.
Yeah.
Although the more gold advantage he has here, the more like aggressive plays and like invades he can do on Trundle, which is what you want to do.
Certainly.
Just hope the kills start to go on Victor and Kai'Sa as the game
Yeah.
progresses.
Ideally, that is where you would like to see your kills end up.
Is worth noting, we have about a 15 CS difference in bot lane right now, as well as a 13 CS difference in actually junk and top, which seems to be where that 900, 800 gold lead is coming from.
Yeah. Let's say that that is probably accurate.
It does seem like Michael is much more comfortable farming on the kill. Hook lands here. This might just be a dead Leona. Has to flash. They get the heal out too. That's
Flash
pretty big.
and
That's
heal
a lot of
used.
kill pressure now.
Or I think, was that just Hex Flash from Nautilus?
That was Hex Flash, yeah. Good poke coming out from Hong. He'll have his ult soon, but Kale has a level... Or sorry, he could ult, but Kale has the level advantage and the ult. I don't think he can get much done in this lane anymore. He needs a Leona roam or a Trundle gank to be able to threaten. The hook lands. That was a max range hook. I think Kathy's just dead here. Yep.
Yeah.
Tier 2.
Oh, and the Kaisa goes down too. Nautilus tanking exactly how many tower shots he was able to.
Yeah, that was a really well executed dive. So once again, we see bot lane not going so great for Kathy's Kittens this game. Their Kitten grooming services is being able to parlay this into a pretty big lead. Back up to about 2,000 gold now. This could be a solo kill though. He'll have to use the Kale. Nope, doesn't you have to use the Kale ult, but Kale will have to back here. Doesn't have TP, so she'll lose some minions.
Kale also picking up the Cull, which is an interesting purchase. But, you know.
He's almost finished. Or not almost, but considering he didn't buy it first.
Yeah.
Having 45 minions done on it. I don't hate it. Obviously he's assuming this game is going to go pretty long. If he's grabbing the Kale, he wants to scale as fast as possible, and the Cull will help him get some gold to be able to do that.
Certainly. Oh,
We're seeing the gank here.
Lilting Lullaby goes down on Poppy.
She has ult, so she has flash, so she can get out.
Kathy's Kittens are now outnumbered in the top lane, as Trundle will fall.
Yeah. Good rotation by Kitten Grooming Service.
See if a play is made in the bot lane, but most likely not, because Leona is not level 6.
Tristana's really safe too. She still has the cleanse. Yeah, this game isn't looking great for Kathy's Kittens. It's not lost. They can obviously still pull
And they do have
real
a
rabbit
dragon.
out of the hat, but yeah, they have the.
They do have the dragon at the moment, and it is a 2K deficit, but it you know, there have certainly been worse.
Sam also does have the Herald. We missed that. He keeps landing these max range hooks. It's really impressive, to be honest.
Tristana flashing forwards.
Good trade though.
They go.
Trundle is here.
even.
They should be able to win this. And they got the shutdown.
Wow.
Huge route. Yeah, this would just be a kill over to the Trundle.
It was a good. I can't think of the name of it, but Leona E.
Zenith Blade.
Zenith Blade, yes, that one. I knew it had the word blade in it.
Still about a 2,000 lead, but that's a shutdown over to the Kaisa, which is huge, even though Tristana's able to finish the Kraken Slayer here. That will
certainly. It's also Tristana's flash, which is an important cooldown. Tristana flashing forward to finish off that kill.
And the clan, so Tristana has no sums. Nautilus held on to his Ignite there, but they should be able to threaten the drag here. Kaisa and Trundle will collapse on the Viego here if he walks up. And he's not able to kill him fast enough, I think. Has to flash away from the Kaisa W. He just dies, he doesn't get even one. So that's really big.
Wow. Yeah.
If Sam can grab some healing off of the camp or some fruit, then he'll just, I think, be able to take this drag. Lilia is down here too. On the flank, if she can land a sweep. No, but they're disengaging, and I think they'll be able to get the drag here for free.
Certainly a big deal.
Definitely makes the game easier for them to play.
Yeah, second dragon over to Kathy's Kittens.
Ocean drag, I think not as impactful as Hex Tech drag, but the out of combat regen is still really good.
As we now look at what is a Cloud Soul?
Yep, Cloud Soul. Now, a lot of people think Cloud Soul is the weakest soul. It got buffed pretty significantly recently.
I think it also is relatively strong this game specifically.
Yeah, I think for both teams, Kitten Grooming Service wants it to be able to kite away from Victor all from the Trundle, and with Leona and Kaisa, the alt movement speed could be really, really impactful as well. Herald goes down mid, gets a couple plates, but does not get the tower yet. Could be seeing a fight here. Hook lands for Nautilus, and Sam is just dead. Honk has to flash away from the Victor, or from the Nautilus ult, but don't think they'll be able to get anything more here. Good turn. Decent gold going over to Hong and Sam from the Herald charge, but unfortunately Sam does go down. We're seeing Tristana and Nautilus rotate down here. Don't think they'll be able to get anything here, but they will catch the wave before it crashes. Hong doing good poke onto the Kale, but
taking a couple tower shots, yeah.
Not great.
A lot of damage from the tower.
Just as a reminder for anyone watching, towers were buffed a couple patches ago. They now deal significantly more damage. I think that was done in a patch a little bit after the durability patch went out. It's just to make sure that turrets still do damage, but their base damage is higher, and I think they scale harder too when they're shooting more shots. So dives are riskier. Trading under turret is also riskier.
Dredge line.
Trundle's up here, maybe gonna try to gank the Poppy. I don't think he can do anything here. I think she just gets away.
I don't think so either. Nautilus is going to try and cheese the bush, but Kaisa will spot him with a W.
He's pretty low. They might look for something here if Kaisa can land a Leona ult. Could be major.
Trundle catching the top wave.
Yeah, probably just getting the
Little speed on Poppy.
Back. But she gets a turret.
Trundle
anyway. Yeah, that lands.
Used R, I think.
Trundle still has ult.
Yeah. Trundle did not use subjugate.
Okay, flexing on us with your alt knowledge. This might be a solo kill.
Chaos Storm
Yeah,
comes out.
This is the Kale ult, but
Fine Judgment and Victor E will still
well
clean
played.
it up.
There should also be a kill. Lilia doesn't even have to use ult there.
Absolutely nothing Poppy can do to get away from that one.
But on the bot side, we're seeing some trades go over. If
This
Kaisa
Kaisa will
get an
run
ult
under
here,
tower.
yep,
I
they'll just
don't
kill
think
him.
she can get away. Heartbreaker comes down. And Kaisa cannot escape.
So yet another cross map scenario. Hong manages to get the mid turret, which is a lot of gold for his team, but they're still at a pretty
Certainly.
sizable deficit. And there should be another turret going over to KGS. Yep, there it is. So I don't think they can get this turret. They might surprise me. Actually, never mind. Scratch that. They will get this turret, which will mitigate the fact that KGS got a first turret and another turret.
Yeah, but now they Trundle is top of the dragon spawning fairly soon.
I think he still has time to back and
He
block
should
there.
still have time to get back, but Viego will walk into the jungle and begin to take some of his camps for his lengthy stay in the top lane.
He's backing here though. This is interesting for Mason.
I mean, they don't have vision.
Not gonna contest the vision either. Leona will just back off here.
Yeah, I don't think she can't contest with 3 people there.
Alright, we see Lilia moving from top to jungle. Poppy is already mid. They might try to get the mid turret here. Kale has hit that level 11 power spike, but they don't quite get the turret here. They started a drag. Viego and Nautilus are over the wall. Nautilus will Hex Slash over.
Matthew's Kittens does really want to Dragon stack. Keeper's Verdict will launch Leona out of the fight. Lilting Lullaby
Pistol
comes
there.
down. Tristana will absolutely explode Lilia, but is now forced to walk away as Victor arrives.
We're seeing the team fighting comp here. For
KGS
Kathy's
on the
Kittens.
back foot as Trundle's still walking forward.
Should have
Zenith
killers
Blade
here.
should be off cooldown shortly. As Victor
Long
presses
flashing
E and
forward
flashes
aggressively.
forward.
They should just win this.
Heartbreaker
Yeah,
comes
there it
down on
is.
Victor, but
That
Viego
was a
cannot finish the kill.
Clean
That
5
was a
for 1.
5 for 1, yeah.
And the
And
dragon.
Dragon will now be secured.
Soul
Kathy's
point is
Kittens
huge
are
here for Kathy's Kittens. They
certainly
might be able
back
to
in
turn
this game.
around. Yeah, for sure. We're just seeing the ability of Kathy's Kittens to play just front to back, pure team fight. It didn't
Yeah.
win them the game last time, but it's going significantly better this time.
Yeah.
As
They have the kills on all of their carries
they
at this
were at a
point.
large deficit at the start of the game, and now the gold is basically completely even, and they have 3 drags now.
Yeah, the kills are on their important carries. They're where they need to be. Victor, Kaisa, both online.
Kaisa does not quite get the second item here, so she is still at a pretty big deficit to the lead, the Tristana. We're seeing
I don't know if I like Collector, but
yeah, I'd agree with you. I don't know what she'd buy. Maybe Phantom Dancer
Phantom
instead.
Dancer. It's Phantom Dancer, IE, generally.
But we are seeing a significant gold advantage in the bot lane, and an even bigger advantage for Hong in the
Certainly.
mid lane.
Yeah. The 4-in-1 Victor, definitely a big deal.
And that's exactly what Kathy's Kittens wants to see. If Hong can get a big lead, he generally doesn't take too many risks to throw those leads, and he is one of their stronger players on a very strong scaling pick.
Yeah.
See the
Oh,
flash
Diego
coming
with
forward
Flash
with
W
Diego.
onto the Kaisa.
Should just be able to kill her.
I don't think that she can get out of this one. The heal will go down, the Heartbreaker will go down,
That was
and the
very
Solar
close.
Flare will not connect.
Kaisa almost won that. It was close.
Yeah.
But
Viego Flash was used. That is an
Diego
important
is a
note.
champ made 2020 or later, so you know he has resets built into his kit everywhere. And
Human Lilting Lullaby comes down. Tristana will jump away. Nautilus will hook away. And the Keeper's Verdict will keep them safe, as they are sent
I
back
thought you were
to
gonna
base.
say Tristana jumps away, Nautilus hooks away, and Lilia is yeeted away.
Yeah. Poppy Copter.
Yeah, exactly. They should just be able to disengage here, but they might have to give up mid prio and let Kathy's Kittens grab the mid tower. Viego is on a reset. I don't see. Oh, it's 4 mid here to kill us there.
Nautilus taking a lot of damage. Chaos Storm will go down just to zone everyone away. And most likely this turret will go down.
Yep, there's the turret. Mason gets here in time.
Solar
to
Flare
start
will go
fighting.
wide. Divine Judgment used. But Kale is now forced away. Not enough mana
I
to
think
continue
Poppy will
fighting.
just die here.
Poppy will go down.
That locket was used a little bit late by the Nautilus. It might have made a difference.
Oh! Trundle flashes onto the
Trundle gets a
Tristana.
triple
Will
kill.
then pick up the Nautilus. And Kale as well as Viego are just forced to back away
Yeah,
as they
looks like they'll
do
go
not
for the
have the
inhib
health to
here.
contest this. An inhibitor will go down.
So that'll make
Oh,
the
no. They've changed their minds. They do not want to take the inhibitor, as it is only 21 minutes into the game. I would say not a bad call.
I think taking the inhibitor here is good. It is pretty early, but you get a pushing wave in mid. And mid is one of the best, like, I think it is the best wave to have push in. It gives you access to Baron and to drag.
Yeah, that's fair.
And with the current state of the game, with the potential soul spawning for Kathy's Kittens in a
Yeah,
minute and a
I
half,
think they just want to avoid all that gold into Tristana and Kale, two major high damage carries.
that's fair,
once the game
but
goes longer.
with the pushing mid and the fact that KGS has to contest this dragon or they give up soul, Kathy's Kittens could just let mid push in, force KGS to devote resources to pushing out mid and then going to dragon. They could just take the Baron here for free.
That is
It
true.
doesn't seem like that's what they're gonna do. They'll probably try to contest for drag. Get some decent poke onto the Tristana, but yeah, I don't think I agree with that call.
Oh
not to take
my,
the inhib there.
Kaisa 1v1 and Kale down here. Divine Judgment is not quite yet back on cooldown.
So
Kaisa walking forward. Killer Instinct is up.
yeah, that's the value from that.
Does not
Scarab.
even need it.
Yeah,
Kale will fall.
we're seeing the value from the collector components here.
Not much
Obviously,
of a
it won't
fight.
do as much to a tankier Viego and Poppy, but against Kale and Tristana, it could be a difference maker.
Yeah.
And that's That means that Kale will not be alive when the dragon spawns. She will have TP and will spawn a couple seconds after, but that does give Kathy's Kittens a window to get vision control here and start the dragon up.
Honeyfruit is up. Kaisa will just return back to, 75% health, give or take.
There's no way they
And
give this soul up, right?
They are positioning like they may just give soul here. Victor currently zoning people away. Viego is currently resetting, and they make the call that Cloud Soul is not important enough.
Not risking the attempt to steal into a Baron for Kathy's Kittens does make sense.
That is fair. Tristana now very caught. Her W has been used and does not connect. Solar Flare will go wide, and the Blast Cone will get
I think we'll just
Tristana
turn to
out
the Baron
alive.
here. Kalista will get there in time.
Yeah, and with that, it will start the Baron. There is vision. Kitten Grooming Services is aware that this is going down. But Nautilus is resetting, so they are most likely, just giving it away. Kathy's Kittens now at about a 2-3k gold lead.
It's pretty big. You got the Cloud Soul.
Victor has finished his death cap. That is important to note.
Yeah, and with the Cloud Soul, that's probably an extra, like, about 2,000 gold in stats.
Kaisa has picked up the Collector and the Zeal, which should give her both of the evolves that she is looking for.
We'll check.
And Trundle is sitting on a tenacity pop.
If she got the... Yep. The Q is evolved, and
The
E
E
is not
should
yet
also-
evolved.
Oh,
I was looking at the R. The E is evolved.
there we go.
Nautilus might be
Nautilus
here,
caught, has to flash. Keeper's Verdict will not connect, it didn't look
I
like.
think it just got the melee minions there.
Victor now down here to fight Kale.
We'll force the
Just
ult,
does so much
straight up
damage.
filter. Wow.
Chaos Storm used,
I'm
but
pretty sure we'll be seeing a
Kale
Victor
is
ban next
dead.
game. I think this game is going in favor of Kathy's Kittens.
Yeah, there's a good chance. They certainly look to be in a very strong position right now.
I love that the scoreboard is showing Rabadons as if it has a timer on it. Don't know what that's quite about, but
Yeah.
are they going to disengage from the inhib again? No, they'll let the Baron empowered minions hit it. That's a lot of damage from that.
Oh, Zenith Blade connects onto Poppy, and she will just disappear. Solar Flare connects onto Nautilus.
And the
He's
buffer
pillared, and he
hook does
will
not
go
hit.
down.
They might keep going
2
here.
quick
They
kills pick
could
it
look
up.
to
Zenith
end.
Blade lands on Tristana. Divine Judgment will save her.
Viego's off to the side. They get
Lilia goes
one,
down.
but
Her ult was not used. Zenith Blade lands on
Kale and
Tristana for a
Tristana are dead.
second
It's only
time.
the Viego.
Subjugation used on Viego. He Heartbreakers away. Forced to flash, but does not get out alive as Victor Ghost. This
That's
should
the
just
game.
be the end of the game.
Yeah, we're going to game 3. Alright, so shaky start for Kathy's Kittens, but they stayed strong. They played for their scaling components, and they managed to get enough dragons to bring that into a win.
Excellent gameplay.
Alright, so looks like draft will be starting at 10:30.
Yes, it does.
So we'll just jump right into that. I will regenerate assets once again. And we're gonna be on the same sides. Dean has selected blue side for Kitten's Grooming Service, which makes sense. They want the priority picks. If Seraphine is open, they'll grab that. Otherwise, they'll try to get the Sivir or Poppy for Joel. It all makes sense.
Certainly. Oh, I might need to go to bed.
It's fine. I can probably get Jacob to come cast.
I apologize.
All good.
Yeah, work at 6 a.m. means that I would like my sleep, so I don't fucking die.
Definitely understandable. Jacob, if you're watching, do you want to get on?
Whoops. I cursed on broadcast.
Oh!
Oh no.
Alright, we can swap back to this. I think the stats have been updated, hopefully. Jacob says sure. So, Jonah, if you have to go, that's totally fine.
Alright. Jacob's not been watching. I will stay for draft, I suppose, and
Okay,
then
that works.
take note. Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Jacob.
Hello.
So, Jonah says he's gonna stay for draft, but after that, it's just gonna be me and you.
Great. It's. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
It's 1-1, right?
It is 1-1.
Yes.
It's game 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, I work at 6 a.m., Jacob. So,
Oh my.
yeah, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, I'm moving in at 11 tomorrow, but I has a significantly wider time frame than you, I suppose.
Yeah.
My classes start at 11 tomorrow. So.
Haha. Imagine classes starting on a Monday instead of a Wednesday.
Who
Oh,
starts
yeah.
classes on a Wednesday though?
You know, I think my cousin's school starts on Friday.
That's weird.
So
That's even
yeah.
more weird.
is stream happening or?
Well, draft should be in what? Is draft in 10
Draft
minutes?
should be starting now, I think.
Oh no, it's now.
I can't see your Discord stream.
Well, they haven't started draft yet, but I am sharing draft now.
Oh.
Can you see it now?
All right, so I saw the draft the first game. Both comps looked pretty good to me. The second game, when I ended up happening with draft.
Weird. Looks like someone clicked the wrong draft link. I might have to remake the draft links. What did you say, Jacob?
I thought the first game, both drafts looked pretty standard. Hyperscaling ADC, Enchanter support.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's sort of been the story of the night here.
Yeah, second draft was also pretty standard. We saw Kale mid for Michael.
Yeah,
Stana
classic.
Nautilus for Dean and Eric, which again seems pretty standard for them. And then obviously we got the Poppy for Joel, Viego for Mason. For Kathy's Kittens, we had a Leona Kaisa in the bot lane.
Yep.
Victor for
I see.
Hong, which popped off. I think he had like a 5,000 gold lead, at least. And then it was Trundle for Sam and Lilia for Chris.
Yes. Oh.
So for Eric, I generally expect him to be on
Draft
the
is
more
starting.
engagey, roamy champions, but Kathy again.
Yeah, Eric played a Yumi game 1, and they
Right,
did win the game. That was.
Kathy is more known for her Enchanter champions.
Yeah.
So I guess they alternated playing.
Lulu Twitch banned every game.
Was it
Not a
Kathy's that
surprise.
one game one?
No.
No, it was
Okay.
KGS that one game one.
So it was the
KGS.
opposite of-
KGS with the same 3 bans every game here.
Yeah, I mean, the Kindred and the Twitch, I feel, are fairly expected. The Lulu, obviously,
Kathy.
For Kathy, although, again, I haven't been watching the series.
A Poppy ban finally coming through, as
So,
opposed to Seraphine. They may just pick Seraphine here.
Dean is a big fan of Seraphine.
Although I will say that Dean specifically has repeated over and over that he values Seraphine in a farming position much more than support.
Right.
Anytime champion is brought up,
Yep, and there it
you
is.
know it.
So either Dean is playing Seraphine or someone is taking it mid.
Right.
See the
Victor?
instant Victor lock-in for
With a
I'm assuming
very
Hong.
strong performance last game.
Yeah, Victor has been
doesn't surprise
consistently
me.
good this weekend.
Although as a potential blind pick,
He blinded
you know,
it last game and it went really well for
oh
him.
wow.
Soraka, also not surprising
That's a Kathy
if
Comfort
they
pick.
lock it in.
And
Yep,
there's
there it
another
is.
lock-in. So I'm assuming, I think Eric's comfortable playing the Ashe support. That's really good with Seraphine.
I believe they've played it before.
They
Yeah,
have. They
they
played
have
it in the
done it
series
before.
against us. If we don't see the Ashe support, I'm a little more inclined to think it's a Seraphine going mid.
That's true.
I don't know how the mid matchup is between Seraphine and Victor as a support one trick. I have zero.
Well, Seraphine's range.
interest.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
spicy.
good one.
I think it's
Actually.
Seraphine sent a bot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really strong.
I think we're likely gonna see a
Nice
mid
spicy pick
counter
for
pick
KGS
here, holding the jungle pick
Um,
later. However, yeah,
Ziggs will come out. There's Ziggs mid.
Does
Most
Joel
likely
play
that
Ziggs,
is
or is that Michael?
Joel. I'm gonna guess that is gonna be Joel in mid,
Great. I have to remake the assets again.
seeing as Joel does tend to enjoy his artillery mages.
right.
Xerath
right.
being one of them.
What? I've never seen him play Xerath at all in this server. What do you mean?
Misfortune, an interesting pick.
You know, we're used to seeing Will on these more,
Jinx.
late game scaling champions.
There
And
it
there
is.
they are,
I
there
like
they
that.
are.
Would be better with Lulu for the peel, obviously, but
But an immortal Jinx is definitely not something you want to be seeing.
yeah, definitely not something I'd
it's-
sneeze at.
Jinx certainly a champion that Will knows well.
It's definitely a pick that he is generally perceived more comfortable on with, hyper scaling, just playing safe in the late game rather than the, lane boy misfortune.
Belveth goes down. Lilia goes down for the 2 games that it has been played in top.
Lilia ban makes sense. I'm sure Sam also knows how to play Lilia.
Belveth is an interesting one.
Well-
Ornn will go down, presumably. That makes sense. Ornn is just a strong champion. Oh, Volibear will go down.
The thing that I think about Sam is that banning him is quite difficult because even when he's not comfortable on a champion,
Yeah.
given his overall game experience and proficiency, he can just destroy on nearly any pick. I think one of our, purple versus green series, we brought him in as a substitute halfway through the series, had already picked a champion for him. We picked Kane, he first timed it and got like 20 kills.
Yes, that did happen.
So,
Akali? Okay, so I'm assuming that's an Akali top.
I do like to see Akali. I'm always a fan of seeing Akali.
Definitely.
yeah, you and you alone.
No, I'm partial to Akali myself.
You guys are psychopaths. I don't get it. Like, she's fun to watch. I'll give you that. It's not fun to play into.
What do you mean? She's so much fun.
She's definitely fun to watch. I also don't enjoy
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
against her. Fed Akali is one of the worst things to play against.
Johnny, this
I'll
could
give
be
it-
jungle or top
Yeah,
potentially.
It'll only make sense once we see the
Johnny
final
just
pick here.
a strong champion in general.
Trying to decide who I'd like to see.
And then there's an Olaf, which
that's
is
still a
probably in
flex.
jungle, but could still technically go top.
Actually, that's kind of
think it's
smart.
top. I think that's an
Well,
Olaf
I
top.
think it depends on the matchup. Because, I mean, it's very, very likely Akali top, but I think that if they decide to flex,
Certainly Akali
if
top.
they decide to swap the Victor and the Akali, then
I love the Zac pick here.
Zac jungle.
Lock it
That's
in.
a new one for
Trundle
Trundle again.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Trundle is
sense.
still good.
Trundle
but
makes sense.
we have
Really,
seen
really good against Sejuani.
we've seen this before.
Subjugate does so much work.
Alright, so do we think it's
when you can
Sedge or
press
Olaf
R.
jungle?
Wait, don't you mean Blade of the Ruin King?
Huh?
Never mind.
No, subjugate. Dude,
Yeah,
subjugate
yeah,
is so good because Sejuani has bonus resistances, so you just
Right.
press R.
Yeah.
You're the tankiest troll the world has ever seen. But yeah, that being said, The Akali pick is slightly out of place.
Right.
The Olaf pick also seems slightly out of place. Aside from that, both of these drafts seem pretty good. Olaf really wants to run forward here, where a lot of his team would like to poke and wait. Akali isn't too bad, you know, just diving forwards. It's kind of hard to dive forward into Sejuani. I think that's partly where the pick is inspired from. Aside from that, drafts are certainly different, but not necessarily bad.
I'm looking at the bot lane matchup here, and with Seraphine and Senna having so much range, I think it'll be enough for the Jinx and Soraka early, which could lead to some jungle pressure. Trundle potentially pathing bot there.
Yeah, one thing is that Seraphine and Senna don't necessarily have the best escape when running away from a Trundle.
Right.
The pillar being, you know, a big deal.
Happens.
Right, and that is again the danger of, you know, generally Senna is supported, you know, double marksman. However, double a mobile squishy in this instance.
Obviously, the two of them do have plenty of CC, but
especially level 6 with the Seraphine ultimate. But before then, it is much more abusable, as these are both more scaling champions.
Absolutely.
With the infinite scaling.
Yeah, I think the big thing to look out for is just Jinx getting fed and going crazy. She does have plenty of peel this game. Between Victor, Trundle, and Soraka, she can be kept alive.
I don't know. Have we seen Mason play this champion before?
I know Mason plays Olaf in his free time.
Right.
I don't know if he plays Sejuani in his free time. I would assume so, because he plays everything in his free time.
Right. 1,000 people do that.
But, yeah. I'm going to take my lead.
All right. See you.
Have a good night, gentlemen. I
Night.
wish both teams good luck. That is all.
Good night, Mr.
Good night.
All
I know you're busy generating the assets, so
the assets should be good, but yeah, I'll switch over the stream for you. For champ matchups, we don't have. Okay, it is a sedge top. I'm not regenerating that. Do you guys will have to
you're
deal
streaming
with it.
never mind. Wait, so it does appear to be Sejuani top, actually.
It is. I'm not remaking the assets.
Um,
I will look that up manually.
I do believe actually hearing that about the Sejuani top from Joey, but or not Joel rather. But it's been a while since we've seen that pick come up. And again, you know, both of these champions are not native to the top lane, so I really don't play either, so I can't speak to the matchup. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Obviously, Joel is known for, you know, playing the champions that he knows incredibly well, playing exactly to his limits and getting a lot of solo kills. You know, we've seen it on the pot, we've seen it on the Xerath. I'm not sure of his familiarity on the Sejuani, so it'll be interesting to see if that affects how he plays after now having been double banned out in the first round. Especially into a potentially unknown matchup in the top lane. As I doubt either of these players have any more than one hand's worth of games on this in this matchup.
Yeah, and speaking of matchup, there has never been a Sejuani Akali game in Scrims.
Right.
I will also check Olaf Trundle before I forget.
I think we don't see a lot of Olaf either. The Trundle is a bit more common of a pick.
Makes sense. There have been 2 games of Olaf all time. It was against a Shen and a Nunu.
Both top. I think those are both Oh,
one was
someone.
top, one was jungle. So yeah, no matchup data there. No matchup data for any of the other
Oh wait,
matchups either.
my brain broke. We have Joe on the mid lane on the Ziggs, not on the Sejuani.
Yes.
But point. I mean, that matchup is more common, but ignore what I said.
I do want to see. Joel has 2 wins against Hong in mid, averaging a 7.2 KDA
Oh my.
against Hong's 0.92.
Oh, I remember that series. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Will has equalized the bot matchup with Dean, as has Kathy. Kathy and Eric's KDAs are basically identical, 4.86 to 4.83. I don't
Oh
know
wait,
why
it's Dean on the Senna.
Oh, it's Dean on Senna. Man, they're really just trying to screw up all of my asset generation. I'm gonna have strong words with Dean after this game.
I suppose in pro play, generally when you have the fasting Senna, starving Senna, you do have the AD carry player
That's true. That's true.
playing it. But in this server, it's much more of a wild west with that kind of thing, especially with both Eric and Dean having such flex potential in both their champion pools and their roles. Anything is possible. All you have to do is believe. I don't think it really changed much because I think Dean is probably more comfortable on the Senna than Eric is. I know Senna is one of Dean's more played 80,
Yeah,
80
it
carries,
does
which
show
is
up
good.
in his champ highlights.
But and I think we have seen Eric on this. Actually, I think when these two played Seraphine last, it was Dean on the Seraphine, but I could be wrong on that. I am not a Scrims aficionado. Although there is a way to check. I am slightly unprepared. Not my fault. Blame Dean.
Yes, always blame Dean.
Always blame Dean.
I'm hoping this game doesn't go too long, because I will lose my voice before my first day of classes. That being said, a banger of like a 35-minute game like we had in game 1, I think went to 38 minutes. Would be really cool.
I do think that this season, it really speaks to the balance of the teams and the experience of the players. We've had so many more non-swept series. And of course, in previous seasons, the main season were played as best of ones. But in the playoffs, I believe, and I may be wrong on this, that there was only 1 or 2 in all of the previous playoffs non-swept series. And this season, we've seen so many back and forth series. It's really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, definitely fun seeing so many games just keep going back and forth and back and forth. Another thing that might be causing that is that for the players who have played in this server for a while, they might just be more familiar with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Both on what to ban and like how each player plays. Before we get into game here, I do want to point out we have Exhaust TP on Sejuani and Smite Ghost on Olaf here. Now, the Ghost on Olaf isn't very surprising, but the Exhaust I actually really like into an Akali lane.
Right.
I'm very much in favor of that. I will switch over the stream to the game in 1 second.
And like you were saying about the experience of the players, being the 4th season of Scrims, the players were also able to draft their teams differently. Knowing who they play well with. Kitten Grooming Service in particular, we have Dean, we have Eric, we have Mason together on one team. These players have both, or all three, been in the server for a very long time. And having all three on one team, the level of synergy there is just not something we could have possibly seen in the past because of the time that we've had to develop as a community. And it's just really interesting to see how, especially the newer teams, are able to keep up with them. We have Sam S, we have Kathy, on Kathy's Kitten, and Chris on Kathy's Kittens. All new players this season. Although Sam S is a bit of a he played the finals of season 3, so
Was he a substitute?
Yeah, we had the old Sam left,
Right.
and Sam S came in to take his spot as a oddly similar player for finals.
Yeah, as a completely new player, the balance that has been happening this season, every team has at least one win in a series,
Right.
and there's a lot of crowding in the top and middle spots. Again, this game is for Kitten Grooming
Tied
Service to be able to tie Silicats for first place. And Kathy's Kittens is fighting to stay ahead of Janley Animal Control in last place.
Ew, Silicat's gross. Who plays
Janley
Silicats?
Animal Control, disgusting.
You can't make fun of us. We're last.
I can make fun of you. And
What?
I will.
No, I can make fun of you because you're first. This isn't fair. Let's
You
do
can
it,
also make fun of me because all of the
You're cringe.
prowess for my team is from players who are not named Noah.
Oh, the Root and the Seraphine managing
That's a
first
solo
blood on the
kill.
Senna.
Two
Oh
and a
my
half minutes
goodness.
in, no sums used. The cleanse was up, just wasn't used.
I wasn't expecting the Seraphine. either.
Once
That was-
again, we're seeing the early level 2 from Kitten Grooming Service being leveraged into a kill early. Victor will use his Ghost here to try to avoid the Olaf, doing some funny kiting here.
walking
getting
through
ready around the
every single
Rosie.
exam. I will note on the point of non-traditional summoner spells, the
He's dead
teleport and the Seraphine, which I hadn't previously noticed, because we were flaming each other. Well played from Baba, but really not much you can do in the situation at a certain point.
Yeah, it just gets collapsed on. That's another kill over to the bot lane for Kitten Grooming Service. And this is basically what we saw in the beginning of last game. Except that Kathy survived and Hong died. But another 2-0, almost 2,000 gold lead.
Holly not able to go in here to help the Trundle. I don't believe. Oh, yeah. I don't believe.
Flashing
Somebody
forward, that was really ambitious.
Yeah,
versus the
I don't-
flash. The
With
ignite,
Holly
rather.
so low, I really I like the gank as a way of freeing up pressure for the Holly, but putting your flash into it is
a little bit
also
ambitious,
not
I
the
think.
most advisable decision.
Yeah, I said two
Being really
different-
accurate here with these routes.
I said do two different incorrect summoner spell names. It was the Exhaust Force from Sidlani, not Ignite or Flash. She doesn't have either of those. But we're getting back into a somewhat more calm laning phase as some people hit reset timers back to spend their gold. Trundle will make his way down to the second scuttle, which would be the reverse of what we saw last game. We saw Mason on the Viego pick up both scuttles. Looks like both will be going over to Sam here on the Trundle.
I just can't believe that Hung Baba was chased out of lane for so long and is still keeping up in CS. What?
That's been the story of mid this series so far. He Flame Horizoned and then some in game 1. He had a very significant lead in mid in game 2.
Ooh, get the heals from this rock. I think that the speed up will.
This could be a solo kill onto the Ahri. Nope, forces
Ooh,
the flash
yeah.
out. Good dodge
Don't
right
take
here,
Conqueror on a Kali.
That's very normal for top actually.
Okay.
You tend to build more Bruiser and less Assassin as a Kali top. Going for, some people go for Riftmaker into Demonic or Riftmaker into Shadowflame.
And we have Dean's special boy build where I think it's Thunder into Stormrazor. Although I don't know if Kathy's kid knows about that tech.
He has Noon Quiver though, it doesn't build into Sunder.
On a Kali, I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'd see that coming out from Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a Keen exclusive for a while now. For whatever reason, it hasn't passed on. Those Sentinels are
Couldn't
pretty.
imagine why. The Soraka keeps landing her Qs though.
Oh, Dean flashing in. I'm not sure why. With no jungler around, they kept them off the wave, but that was
Root goes
a
wide,
really
but
odd
it'll be
flash.
definitely have enough healing for the Soraka to keep Jinx safe here in lane. She still
Yeah.
has both Psalms. Sam
Classic
here
Mason
trying to
invade.
punish the Mason invade. Has to sidestep the
Ziggs
gravity
not able
field.
Too much.
That's a kill over to Hong. That's exactly what you want to see as a Kathy's Kitten player. That's 2 turret shots tanked for Eric, which is really major. That means he won't be able to play as aggressively.
Oh my
but
god!
Oh my god!
Where
Kathy
did she
gets
go?
Sniped.
Oh my goodness.
This might be a solo kill. Nope, it forces
No,
out
I
the
got a
flash for Ziggs. Hong using the ghost here seems a little bit ambitious.
I think Kathy's Will died. I think that in that case, as bad as it feels, you just gotta back up there and without your support,
Get
just-
over a few plates, yeah.
yeah.
You just get dove. I don't think there's much he could have done in that situation.
It does feel bad, and I get the thoughts going through his head, but as an outside observer, it's a bit unfortunate written in the clouds.
A little bit reminiscent of the Fnatic Excel series earlier today. For anyone who watched that, Excel died. Different members died on turret dives multiple times for no value. Maybe Kathy's Kittens are Excel viewers.
We have the first strike on the Victor, and knowing what we do about Hung Baba and his farming, and seeing how well he's played the lane so far. Obviously, there was a bit of a misstep in the beginning, but getting up the kill from the invading Mason, definitely very, very scary how quickly he will be able to accelerate that mid and late game spike that Victor is.
Yeah, it looks like
So scary.
Kathy's Kitten's top side has a slight gold lead, but the bot side of Kitten Grooming Service is so far ahead that they've been able to turn that into a 2,000 gold lead for their team.
Right, looks like we are getting. Is it Fiendish Codex that for Leandries?
Yeah, Leandry's on Seraphine APC is pretty standard.
Right, and
I'm
then the nice thing
assuming will
is,
happen.
if Ziggs also wants to go it, although I expect to see the Ludens here with, everyone being quite squishy except for the Trundle, that will probably end up seeing the Ludens on Ziggs, but, with that change of the damage over time item stacking, that is a potential option, which it's nice to have that availability, but I don't really see it against their team.
I would also probably go for Ludens here as a Ziggs. That being said, Leandry's isn't bad just for poke.
Right.
Instead of going for burst. And
I
Ziggs with
that
his...
is what.
I know Leandry's is also good for, or Ludens is also good for poke, but Leandry's with Ziggs' ability to spam his Q every couple seconds, it just lends itself so well to fighting another mage, even if you're not going for shredding tanks with Leandry burn.
Right, that is, with the Seraphine and the Senna, both very long-range champions, we're seeing some action in the top lane, although with the exhaust, that they might be over. Akali does have her ultimate. He's going to use it to go in.
This might be a kill, actually.
I can land her E if she does go
not
in.
use the R2.
Yeah.
That's a Star Wars character, by the way.
You loser. So with the Seraphine with the Senna with the Ziggs, I can definitely see some burn poke being out there, although
Trundle
that
gets the flash Q.
Ooh, the Senna will not, unfortunately, a little late.
I don't think the axe hit, but he might win regardless. Backs off instead. See the Jinx ult come here? I think that hit the Olaf. He's really low. Unfortunately, Sam doesn't have a flash and he's also really low, so we probably won't see another kill go down in mid.
Right, and then he'll just be able to heal up in the jungle with the passive.
banger coming out from the Scrim Zone League playlist.
Oh, I can't hear that. So sad.
That's so sad for you.
We have another engage in the top lane. Looks like Blue side's really trying to pick up the turret in the bot lane.
Eric is really low though.
Right. Looks like
Jinx Rocket
Edith-
is pretty far away from coming up, but
with yeah, I don't know how familiar these players are with the cooldown. Okay, looks like they get it.
yeah, they're just gonna get bot turret.
And then they get the. He has cleanse. Okay,
Okay,
used
he
it.
used it this time. That's good.
Looks like we already have a nearly 4K gold lead from Kitten Grooming Service.
Just about.
And again, the composition is a bit mismatched with the Olaf being a bit of a sore thumb in the composition. However, if they can just keep a lead going, get some
It's
dragons.
gonna be a solo kill. There it is.
Yeah, that was very greedy of the.
Stayed
Holly
for
the
an
Greens.
extra wave. Probably didn't notice that Sejuani TP'd.
Right.
well-
Looks like you were.
well played by Michael there.
Yeah, looks like you were right about the Kalibo going for the seemingly the rift make. Oh, never mind. Selling the leaking there for a blasting wand, which is that still
That still builds into Riftmaker, I believe.
you're right either way. Looks like we keep having a lot of unfortunate trundle ganks. Not able to capitalize on them. You know, getting pressure for his lanes, but
Jinx Rocket comes in.
close.
He goes wide though. We won't get any value. They'll look to force the Herald Crash here. If they can get a little bit more damage onto the turret, that would mean they get it. I don't think it'll go through. It does.
Oh, because the eye shots during the charge, so
Yeah, exactly.
was not able. Looks like we have Kitten Grooming Service bot lane going mid. You know, since they took the turret, lane engage is over, blah blah blah. Or they head mid. Looks like Silico has a word. Hello. Wait, Silico, aren't you an admin? Can't you like put yourself places?
I guess I could get myself the caster's role, maybe.
No, like you can just drag yourself into the call because you're an admin.
It won't let me.
That's weird.
Oh.
What's up?
Hi.
Hi.
What are we watching?
We are watching Game 3 of Kitten Grooming Service versus Kathy's Kittens.
Streamed or no?
It is streamed.
Hey.
Yeah, we are live on the internet. Oh, the flash!
A solo kill.
Mason doing the ultimate. Not sure what CC he was trying to avoid, but
It does also give movement speed.
right. Although
And I think extra damage, extra AD. Yeah, gives you 48 AD.
although not even remotely close to dying there. Although I don't play that champion, don't know its limit, so I trust him on that one.
This
more
is
than
really
me.
risky here for the Trundle. Yeah, just dies to the turret.
Yeah, a
That's
bit of an
really
unfortunate
unfortunate.
game for Sam so
Yeah.
far.
Just an
I think a lot of-
unfortunate series of events here for Kathy's Kittens.
It looks like it was the Ludens on the Ziggs, as we sort of both expected. I think that was a smart decision. Looks like Kitten Grooming Service is going to get their second dragon here,
Yeah, which
furthering their gold lead and pressure ends.
also
bit
negating
rough.
what Kathy's Kittens used to get back into Game 2. So you like to see the adjustments coming out for Kitten Grooming Services. Ziggs using his ult there. Will not kill Hong Bava, although the victor is very low. We'll have to back.
Silico, what do you want to see out of Kathy's Kittens? You bring them back into this game?
A lot more working together. I mean, Jinx just needs to farm, get herself back in. Looks like Senna's already past the breaking point of getting her strong. So just a lot better picks and good dives.
Soraka ult comes out, but it's not enough to keep the Akali alive in that dive.
I was gonna say Soraka was on her way to help her with the counter dive, but it was a little bit 1 second too late.
looks like you were saying, we have the Jinx in the bot lane, just trying to farm up, getting some solo experience, getting some money. While they're taking Herald, or yeah, Rift Herald on the top side, not much they can do to contest it.
A lot of damage
Trundle is
coming out. There's
going
a couple of
to
spells hitting.
try and keep the Johnny from taking the turret. This is a bit rough for Kathy's kit.
The Seraphine ult goes wide. I think Eric didn't account for the extra movement speed on the Olaf ult.
Great flash from Victor. Oh, the
Really good disengage there.
Yeah.
Bean saved it.
If Olaf was not quite as fast there, the Seraphine ult would have propagated off of him and probably hit Soraka. And that would have been a very different fight.
You know what? I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna say it. Hungbaba has 2 vision doors sitting on first. Fuck that guy.
SMH.
He was a support player. I don't understand. I don't understand support players who switch to other roles and then have shit vision. Like, what happened to you? Fall from grace.
I thought you were gonna comment on my use of the word propagation in relation to Seraphine's ultimate.
Nobody in the server calls it that. Everyone just says, "Oh, she sung her song." I didn't know. No relation. Go ahead.
Oh, I just meant about how it like
Ooh,
bounces off of champs and like extends the duration.
Yo, got that. Splitting the farm 3 ways there. I love to see it. Having a good time.
Seraphine on her way to completing that Archangel stuff. But the gold deficit, or the CS deficit has shrunk significantly here. I think Jinx has enough gold to grab definitely has enough gold to grab the Kraken Slayer on the back here. But it's choosing to stay, maybe to crash the wave here. This is dangerous for the
Ulting.
Kali.
Going for wait, that wasn't ult. That was
That was not ult, that was, I think, W is the one that...
I played the champion once in an ARAM, and I definitely know what she does.
Understandable.
There's
the turret.
getting the turret,
At the
very
exhaust, that'll be a kill.
somewhat of a common theme from Kathy's Kittens here, not knowing when to back off from a
That was
turret.
really unfortunate for Michael, or for Chris there. I don't think he realized Sam was coming up to back him up on the Trundle. If he had stepped back, the pillar would have pushed the Sejuani far enough away that I think he would have been able to make it out.
Right. Alright, let's move the, returning turret, or Herald from Kitten Grooming Service. Potentially this one will make more of a splash than the first one did for,
Surely crashes in, does not take the turret down.
Okay, so similar impact even.
Yeah, just dash before the turret goes down.
That turret is worth a lot of money, so it's good that it's set up.
Honestly,
And
if I was Kathy's Kittens, I would have considered letting the turret die to the minions once the Herald died, just to deny the local gold. The turret's gonna go down eventually anyway.
Right.
You're not gonna be able to stop it. It's almost
Poor
dead.
Jinx. Oh.
Yeah,
Rest in
Jinx
peace.
just hasn't been able to play this game. Same as Akali. It's a little unfortunate. This should be third drag going over to Kitten Grooming Service. I don't think they'll be able to contest it on the side of Kathy's Kittens.
Akali does not. Akali makes it out here, sure. I guess they don't want to expend any resources. I think potentially we could have seen a flashy satchel forward through Ziggs into Q whatever, but it's definitely better not to overextend and just we have center range is long enough to just auto the dragon over the wall.
Unfortunately, Hungbaba does not have ult here. This is the perfect situation for Victor ult when the enemy team is grouped up in a choke point like Dragon Pit, but it's on cooldown. They'll just let the dragon go. This is soul point for Kitten Grooming Service, which is the exact opposite of what we saw last game.
You gotta respect Will, despite being 0-4, keeping up relatively in the CS game.
Yeah.
And
Mental
it's
has
what you
stayed.
expect from a player like that, where mostly known for playing the hyper carry scaling champions. But it's pretty impressive to me, at least, as someone who's trying to move into the AD carry role, being far behind, but keeping up in the farm, it's definitely an impressive skill. That's it's worth praise.
Hopefully
Looks
we'll
like-
see it pay off.
Right.
It's about an 8,000 gold deficit for his team right now, which is
Ooh,
significant.
the preemptive flash. Luckily,
Ice Prison
stopped-
goes wide.
Yeah, Ice Prison. I know what things are called.
Oh, I only know that because it was played in Pro Play a lot this morning.
Ugh. It looks like we I don't know what I was
Probably
gonna say.
needs to back here. Don't
Yeah,
make the
but-
same mistake again.
Does have the rocket at his time, but
Still, I think.
yeah, I mean, bit risky.
Curious
Isn't it
if
like-
Victor has upgraded multiple skills. Stop doing that. Game. I hate
You can tell based on the CS, right?
You can see if it says upgraded. Yeah, he has upgraded everything except for his ult.
It looks like I don't. Yeah, they don't know,
Yeah, they can't do anything here. This is just
but
gonna go
yeah,
forever.
even if they did know,
Alright, up to a 9,500 gold lead.
with the effect of Ultimate Dragons, it puts it over.
Over 10,000
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
This is looking very rough for Kazu's Kittens. Obviously they do have a scaling comp, but they're playing into a Seraphine Senna bot lane, which in itself has strong scaling. Sejuani and Olaf fall off a little bit, especially Olaf. But the infinite scaling on the Senna combined with Ziggs and Seraphine might just be enough to offset that, and the Jinx is so far behind that I don't even know if she'll be relevant for at least another 20 minutes.
Right.
But
Okay, so it looks
should
like
be
we
a
are
kill
gonna
off
get.
the Ziggs. That's only the third kill of the game for Kathy's Kittens here. Maybe that'll be able to revitalize them and bring them back into the game.
Right, I'm glad to see it's on the Jinx. You know, any money that you can get onto that champion is good, but it wasn't a shutdown, I don't believe. So Olaf is a champion for sure. Okay.
CC immune,
okay.
haha. Oh, unfortunate flash for the Trundle there.
Looks like we see one of those
Oh,
two
this
series
should be
in a
another
row.
kill.
Actually, never mind. That didn't happen.
He's gonna flash.
Right to the go.
I love the aggressiveness.
I remember those flashes.
You definitely didn't have two fail flashes 2 series in a row.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Silico can do no wrong.
Yeah, I don't miss flashes over walls.
Big fact.
I'm high caliber.
I forgot to zoom out in both of the other games, and it took me 23 minutes to remember it for this game. That's okay though.
You know, we still have a lot of game to see from this one. So
Oh, absolutely. I believe in the comeback reverse sweep. Here we go.
heck yes.
No cast
Um,
errors here.
That is what Kathy's Kittens is gonna have to do though, is get those small picks to slowly get back in.
We're at the point in the game where, regardless of being support, Senna is just starting to scoop up all of the money she can. Already up to 61 CS.
She's probably at like 80 or 90 stacks probably.
Oh,
yeah,
it
can we,
should be
can
way
we come
more.
Yeah, at 24 minutes. with the
99,
support.
yeah.
So we have one more soul, which sitting around mid should be able to get.
I think.
So that
think-
massive range increase.
Sorry, I think 100 stacks for 24 minutes in is honestly not even that high.
You think? For being 4-0, that seems pretty.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's more about the
I know
trading
that-
in lane than the kills, to be honest.
This obviously
I'll
isn't
be-
pro play, but I've seen like 140 stacks Senna's in about 25 minutes.
Right? It's more because with the early deficit that Jinx and Soraka were put in,
gonna
it was
be
hard for
another kill
Senna
over
to
there.
get those trades where she got the souls. So despite having the 4 kills, that's it's only 1 soul per kill, but you get a lot more from the trades. One every couple of seconds.
Kali flips back into her team. They're rooting another 2 people. That's really unfortunate.
Poor
Oh, man,
man, Seraph,
Seraphine.
oh my goodness, just
No
Gus-
one's died yet though. There's the Trundle death. Hong is coming in from the back here, and he can do a ton of damage. But I don't
Double
think he
kill
can
him.
kill 4 people by himself. Should just try to disengage here, try to get out. Flash for the Senna here.
this has to go into the third point.
Almost goes
She's
down.
healing up so much on sweet footwork. Oh, the one auto attack. Oh my.
Really unfortunate turn of events here for Kathy's Kittens. This is going to be the soul going over to KGS. And likely any chance that they had The game isn't over. It's not gonna be over until Nexus falls, but this is looking really rough.
Yeah, Ziggs is known for melting through turrets. Can you actually check what what skill Ziggs has max? Because I know with the W max second, you are able to melt those turrets a lot faster.
He has max W second.
So it's just that raises the threshold a lot. So we can see here, probably go to take the hurt because of that W. That's such an absurd. Yeah.
He should
I
know
learned
here,
that
though.
back
I think he's not even trying to get out there.
Yeah. Again, another kill onto the Ziggs with another non-shutdown. They are, slowly getting some kills, but it's not on targets you want. Again, Jinx's CS is quite good given the circumstance. Like to see borrowing out,
definitely.
losing confidence. Looks like we have Hung Baba forced to catch the bot wave, while Trundle is walking down mid, and looks like a fight might be breaking out. Kittens is trying to get away, but Sejuani dashes in, forcing the Kali Flash. Trundle makes it in. Senna ultimate. Are we going to see Seraphine ultimate try and catch the stragglers? Yeah, there it is. Oh, and it hits both. Unfortunately, the Sirocco was forced to path into it.
This might just be the
Or,
game being ended here
Kali,
for
rather.
Kitten Grooming service.
That was really well played. Skirmish by Kitten Grooming
The
service.
top wave doesn't have push, it's all the way back at their tier 1, so they won't end immediately here, but that isn't inhib, and they can keep pushing in mid.
I'm assuming they'll get inhib and get Baron on respawn.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like we have Mason heading there as we speak, using the balcony over the wall, getting the Baron while his team is shoving down mid.
He's trying to solo it. A little bit of miscommunication with his team here. It looks like they're just trying to end. That'll be the Jinx going down.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading off the.
Yeah, he's coming up with them.
This
This will just be the game. Really unfortunate for Kathy's Kittens. I thought their game 2 showed a lot of promise for what the team can do. Their team fighting was really good, especially around the Dragon Pits. Able to leverage their objective control into a comeback win, and they just weren't able to do it in this game. You hate to see it for them, but Kitten Grooming service seems like one of the strongest teams on the server. Definitely no shame in losing to them.
Tied for number 1 now.
They are tied for number 1. Now, I know I was the only one who watched all three games, so I guess the onus is on me to decide who the MVP is. I think I'm gonna have to give it to Dean here. So we're gonna, if one of you can pull him in.
Let's see if I can. Oh, I can pull him in. Wait, maybe I can't. No, it doesn't let me.
Dean's listening to stream, I see.
Sorry, I am too powerful. I can pull myself.
I could have.
I see that. I see
Look
that.
how it was like.
Okay, wait, why is MVP on a per game basis now when last time I tried to give MVP on a per game basis, someone was like, no, you only give it for the series?
I don't
think
know who
I've
told you
ever
that,
happened.
bro. They gaslighting.
I'm pretty
For
sure
real.
you told me
Oh,
that.
God.
I'm being gaslit
There's-
really hard right now.
There's literally a spreadsheet with it per game from the first game. I don't know why anyone would tell you that.
Okay, alright. So, game 1, I'm giving it to Joel. Game 2, I will give it to, I think, between Hong and Sam. I'm not sure. I think
From a
I'll-
player perspective, it felt like actually either's good. High key.
either's good.
Like,
I'll give it to both. Tied MVP.
wait, no,
and-
you can't do that.
I just did. I make my own rules.
Wait,
This guy's
Jonah was watching, right? Ask
Jonah
Jonah
was
for the
watching.
He's
tiebreaker.
asleep.
He's probably asleep.
Oh, okay. Well, we can break the tie later. Smile. So you
Yeah.
said Joel.
Hong/Sam, and then this game
Sam
we're giving it
slash-
to you.
Bless. Thank you. I
Dude,
really appreciate it.
I'm so mad. The Senate champion. Huh?
I have a couple questions. Number one, were you
Yeah.
planning on drafting the Senna Seraphine as soon as you saw that they left Seraphine open, or was that like a
Yep.
spur of the moment decision?
No. That was the plan for every game. We played it as our warm up I think, too. For
And
what
was the
that's worth.
plan always you on the Senna? Because I know that both of you play both
Yeah.
roles.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no. I think Eric's Seraphine's better than mine, and I think my Senna's better than my Seraphine.
Right, I know your Senna is definitely it's definitely known.
Alright. What were you thinking? You remember that dragon fight in game 2 where they kind of aced you guys 5 for 1?
I think I selectively forgot that one.
Okay,
Not
That
gonna lie.
fight in Dragon where you guys
fair.
fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Oh,
What the hell
well,
is
no,
this?
I wanted to
You
know.
call me on. You call
I
me onto
wanted
the
to
cast,
know-
and you're like, "You guys suck."
No,
Why
I
would-
wanted to know what your team's thinking was around that time because I noticed in game 3 you guys made sure you got every single drag, so you didn't let them stack their dragons with that scaling comp, and I was wondering if that was like a conscious decision or if you just happened to take all those drags.
No, I think we were just more coordinated this game. I know.
You guys got
in
the
game
early
2,
bot
we
turret
got.
earlier.
Yeah, I mean, our side laners got caught out a lot in game 2, so it was pretty tough to kind of hold stuff together as for dragon fights because every time it was kind of like perma 4v5, so
Okay.
it was kind of smart to just kind of give because we would probably get aced anyway. And I
Okay.
think we went for more of them than we should because there were a lot of team fights where we kind of just got wiped, which gave a lot of gold to the enemy team, which was pretty rough.
You guys were ahead for a lot of game 2. Pretty similar start to game 3. But in game 3 you guys like kept it tight and managed to get those drags and objectives and
Yeah, I mean, I
also
think a
lead
big
the entire
difference
game.
is we threw Ziggs mid lane instead of Kale, and Ziggs has better tower taking potential. So he was kind of able to be like a bigger side lane threat. And like even if he is still getting picked off on the sides, which I think happened a couple of times, he's able to bring a tower with him. Whereas the Kale is just trying to get levels. Where if she gets to 16, it's pretty scary, but the game didn't go long enough for that to be a real threat. And I also think we just had a good enough team fighting comp that it didn't matter as much if we didn't have the Ziggs with us, whereas the Kale was kind of like our main damage in the last game, or in game 2.
Alright, awesome. I have one last question. Do you still think Seraphine is priority enough to be first picked blue every game she's open?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think every team.
Okay,
honestly
like
should.
I will say, like on game 3 draft, I think draft had like a huge part to play in the game. I think the two big things I'm confused on is why Seraphine was left up and why they didn't pick Lilia. But
You banned Lilia.
is
You banned Lilia blue 3.
no, but why didn't they pick it R3?
Oh,
I
I thought you banned it.
No, I would have R3'd Lilia for them there. I'll pull
You
up the
did,
spectate just to like.
You're right.
I think
you're
the
right.
Seraphine-
Yeah,
you banned
they
Lilia
they
R4.
picked the
blue
Jinx.
4.
Yeah,
That was
I think
weird.
the Seraphine
Yeah.
would have been very difficult to get rid of, considering Joel.
I mean
existing.
they beat Poppy game 2.
That's true.
Is all I'm gonna say.
I can't speak to that one.
Like
I
they ran if they ran the same bans that they did game 2, I personally would have preferred it if I was on their team. I think running back bans after a loss is pretty good. I think especially if you're leaving open a champion that you've had basically permit against the team for a while, so you don't really know what we're gonna do when we get it in game. It's always tough to kind of make that call and leave it open. I don't think either of these decisions are like bad enough to like where it's actually faulting anyone. Is obviously game 3, so there's a lot of pressure to kind of like perform well in draft and not make mistakes in that sense. But
Definitely makes sense.
yeah.
All right. I think
Us
we're
getting
gonna,
Seraphine is always huge.
yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream here. Thanks to everyone who watched. Congrats again to Kitten's Grooming Service on their win. Tied for first now. Pretty exciting. Can't wait to play you guys again. Break that tie maybe.
Oh god, we have to. Oh god.
Maybe. I mean,
so-
I'm happy that we have two of the 4 games like pseudo scheduled for next week.
Yeah,
Big
that's
win.
awesome. All right. Stream is ending. See ya, everyone.